Good morning, lovely people. It is Wednesday, the 2nd of November. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favourite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. And of course, you have amazing, amazing hosts with you every single day. Let's introduce ourselves.
It's your boy, Big Moss from the east side of the bridge. You know what it is. Fighting fit, ready to go.
Love it. It is your favourite shade queen, my own royalty.
Mr. Rotation's Big Man Use.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer, news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
Love it. How is everybody doing this nice Wednesday?
Yeah.
Man.
Not all of you breathing in deep. What's going on?
It's Wednesday, innit? It's like...
Wednesday's my favourite day of the week. I think
No
I've told you guys
way.
this before. Since school, I've just always loved a Wednesday. So when I was in school in Nigeria, Wednesday was the day we had jollof rice for lunch. And then my favourite subjects tend to be on Wednesdays too. All through my life, Wednesday's always been an easy day in my life.
I don't know why, but when you said Wednesday, I just thought, this is why you like August.
Why?
You are. First of all, it's Iman's birthday in 2 days. Your birthday must be postponed. 'Cause
Firstly, August is the best month anyway.
first of all,
I was like, why?
yeah, what the heck? I didn't see that from you, Iman.
I'm joking.
No, you're not joking. You meant that.
I'm not in a great mood today.
Oh, really? Why not?
My barber messed me up, man.
Where?
Look over here.
It looks nice though. What do you mean?
Nah, the shape up, man.
Oh, did he take you back a little bit?
Yeah, man. He tried to give me the Stormzy, the M.
Oh.
On one side.
No, it always looks.
What? What? What?
Isn't that how your hair always looks?
No.
I didn't look at you and think, oh, your hairline's fucked up.
Oh,
I
that's
didn't say,
alright then. That's
No,
good.
it's
I
not.
looked
Honestly,
at you and
it looks
thought,
good.
this is how you always look. I don't think it looks bad, to be fair.
I just think you look
Alright,
fresh.
good.
It just
That's
looks nice.
That's alright.
And also, your hair kind of blends in with your skin, so it's hard to notice.
Okay.
You have to say that.
Hey, man,
That is colourist, isn't it?
in jam black.
It's better
It's
than
alright, man.
jam-packed. This is his mantra.
Is it melanin in hair? Follicles?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, if you're
No,
fine,
but what I mean is, yeah,
I'm not gonna take paracetamol for it.
see the edges here? Yeah, it's faded in. Like, you can't see that it's been taken back. That makes sense?
Okay, I get
Yeah.
what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
What are you looking at me like that for? I don't think that's an insult.
I'm not offended.
Okay, that's good.
Do you
As long as you're not
think
offended.
he shies away from being dark skinned? He embraces
No, I
it.
know he doesn't, but I just wouldn't want you. Say I walked in,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want you guys to be like, oh, because you're dark and your hair is black. I didn't know it was
But
locks
I
and
would
not a wig.
say it to you though. E-man can take that kind of comment. You know
Yeah,
what I
I'm
mean?
quitting the show
With-
for
with-
so
with a pinch of salt, you know what I mean?
It's a hostile environment. Okay, fair enough. Marks, how are you feeling today?
I'm good, man. Why
I
you
asked
so-
people to pray for you
Why?
yesterday because you weren't feeling well.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't give your secrets away, even though between us in this room we were
Yeah,
very
can I ask a
childish.
question? I'm not gonna say what it is, but how did you get that? How did you get sick
Get
like
got.
that in this environment? Because I assumed you went out, but you
No.
wasn't. You was here.
I was working.
How did you get sick like that from working here?
I was like that before I got here.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
I thought you started here and then finished here.
No, I told you I left. I had a long shoot that day. I was filming in it, so I had a double Filthy. So I went to Filthy,
Yeah.
and I think it's I don't think it was I think it was something at 8.
Oh, okay. I thought so. From what he said, I thought, how can that be?
I don't think so.
What does he think?
I think you know what I think it is. I try to keep secrets up in here. Don't do this. Don't draw attention to it.
I was in a bad way though, man.
Yeah,
I
you're
was
damn bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't gonna work.
You're feeling good today?
Yeah, I didn't even leave
Skin
my
was
house
glowing and
yesterday.
everything.
Thank you, man. I didn't even leave my house yesterday. Just recouping, get me
Yeah.
back ready for the world. Gotta make one up.
That's it. Love it. I absolutely love it. But before we carry on with the show, before we get into the show, actually, like the video, guys. Comment. You can also call in. We've got a very, very interesting topic of the day today. And I know you guys, you'll be having anything to say anyway. So we love that. And we love that about you. But the topic of the day, I reckon you really, really want to get involved with this one. So make sure you call in. And are we ready to go, guys?
Let's do it.
Let's get into our first headline.
So the former Health Secretary, Matt Hancock, has been suspended as a Conservative MP after joining the cast of I Am a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. Mr. Hancock will swap representing his constituents at Westminster for eating bugs in the jungle. But Tory Tory party managers have taken a dim view of the West Suffolk MP's decision to take part in a reality TV show whilst Parliament is sitting. The Tory chief whip said it was serious enough to warrant a suspension. Simon Hart, who is in charge of the Tory MP discipline, said he had taken the decision after speaking to Mr. Hancock. Andy Drummond, who's the deputy chairman of the West Suffolk Conservative Association, said he was looking forward to seeing Mr. Hancock eating a kangaroo's penis.
Wow. Okay. Damn.
The campaign group COVID-19 Bereaved Families for Justice called Mr. Hancock's decision sickening and called for ITV to drop him from the programme. The group tweeted, "Mr. Hancock isn't a celebrity. He's the former health secretary who oversaw the UK having one of the highest death tolls in the world from COVID-19 whilst breaking his own lockdown rules." Rishi Sunak's official spokesman said the PM believes that at a challenging time for the country's MPs, MPs should be working hard for their constituents, whether that is in the House or in their constituency. And for those unaware, when MPs have the whip suspended, they're kicked out of the party within Parliament, but they do remain as an MP and continue to be paid. So Conservative MP Tim Loughton said Mr. Hancock had been an absolute prat and losing the Tory whip was the least he deserves. He said, "I'm completely disappointed and disgusted that he's put himself and his so-called celebrity career ahead of serving his constituents."
Big up my Hancock, man. You got to enjoy life. This life is for the living.
Did you mention him yesterday on your report?
No, he wasn't on there. No.
Oh, he joined after.
Yeah. So when I saw it online, I thought it was a rumor. And then, well, we're talking about NTD. We don't talk about rumors on here, so it's
right.
true.
Yeah, he's just trying to rebrand, isn't it?
So basically, he's on annual leave then. So he's basically on. He's on leave because if he's gonna get paid.
Yeah.
No, because he's
While he's away.
because he's still an MP. I think was it do that make you like independent or something like this? I swear he's like kicked out of the party, but he's still an MP or something.
Yeah.
But
So
he's
I think-
still gonna get paid while he's in the jungle eating penises.
Yeah,
It's crazy. It sounds like a good.
it's a good deal.
do you think it's gonna
Life,
work though, or is it gonna backfire on him?
I think it'll work,
Because I'm
think
guessing
it'll
he
work.
wants to like change the
Yeah,
public
his image.
sentiment towards him and the image and that, and probably like craft out a career for him in TV in some way, shape, or form. But for him to do that, it's got to work.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna come out to a podcast deal.
maybe.
I think it's gonna work. I think he's really rebranding, and he's actually gonna be like a peers.
Yeah.
Because if you got that politics background, and now you're in celebrity life,
Yeah, but
Like,
they're
you're-
on him.
yeah.
On him, COVID and all that. That was all
yeah, I can't
him.
believe that the group.
But is he an MP who's known for his personality?
No.
No, we just know he grabs the ash.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, he's the one who was in...
Yeah.
Oh, him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he cheated in that, innit? Had an
Yeah.
affair,
Oh, okay.
messed up COVID,
Okay.
broke his lockdown rules. He's outside.
That's true, actually. Yeah, because
Fully.
he's fully outside. He's a city boy. Because remember, they weren't even allowed to lips around them times.
Yeah.
That's one of the things as well. Because that's how. He broke that guideline as well.
Yeah.
And to be
With
fair,
eating her face, boy.
even before lockdown, like adultery's always been kind of unsavory.
That's unsavory.
I'm just
No, I hear what you're saying.
In all the things
regardless.
I'd ever hear you say, I didn't think I'd hear you say that. So, okay. Love it.
A very off-brand comment there.
Very off-brand comment. I think you were a reset when you went for yesterday.
no, I'm just saying.
Something came right.
Also, me, all three of us were in green.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You man, you didn't get the memo. You had to come in red.
I was in the
The
barber
true
shop.
Nigerian.
You in the barbershop this morning?
No, yes.
Oh, well, that was an early appointment, boy. no wonder he fucked you up. He was half asleep.
And I should have known better, you know. I walked in, yeah, and like no one was there, and I see him surrounded surrounded with like bare bank statements.
He
Bare bank
was
statements.
his taxis. He was stressed.
He was stressed out.
You know what I'm saying?
His head was in the wrong place, man.
Yeah, and I think normally they just come in. If I'm the only one there, obviously straight to the chair.
Yeah.
I was waiting for 10 minutes. So he was there doing stuff, and I was thinking,
Yeah, he took out his aggression on you. Or on your head.
how can the first thing be shape up?
Oh, he shipped you up first.
First thing.
That is an egregious crime. No way. First thing.
First.
Yeah, his
thing.
head was gone, scrambled. No
I'm
one,
telling you.
not one barber ever in my life had done a shape up first. First.
Sorry, did you say anything about this?
Yeah, of course.
What did you
Afterwards, Yeah, because you know the thing is, yeah, you don't notice fully, but you notice where the thing is going. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
The
you feel it. Yeah.
Right, this don't feel right.
This is
No,
a
but
bit.
did he have you spun around? You wasn't facing forward?
Yeah, do you know what it is? Like I'm kind of to the side, and he blocks the mirror.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think you would know. If you're facing the mirror, you would know that he's
Yeah,
going
exactly.
for the shape up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, sometimes I have had a couple barbers, yeah, that kind of start with shape up, you know.
I've never had that before in my life.
It sounds like a red flag to me.
Why aren't like these big grown men like brave enough to talk to barbers when they know full well they're doing something different?
No, but that's the thing. You don't fully know, innit? Because
Yeah, but
sometimes
I would know. Yeah.
no. Because some barbers do it in particular ways, innit? Like him, I kind of trust him, innit? And like he's done it before, where it's like straight away this, that, and the third. And so I was thinking everything should work out. You know what I'm saying? But then when I started to feel that this guy was going like proper east of it, then I thought,
Is it the same one that you had since primary school?
No.
Alright, okay.
Oh, this is a new barber you're not really familiar with.
I've been with him for like, I'd say a couple of years now. Yeah, about 2-3 years.
So what made you change to him in the first place?
Alright, so the barber before him, timing was the issue, man. Yeah, so like, you just go there. Because the thing is, all my barbers previously, wasn't one of those appointment things. You know, nowadays you've got appointments and stuff. No barber I've ever had was an appointment, just walk in. So I'd walk in and all the time just be disappointed. You know what I'm saying? So I thought, nah, let me just...
What nationality is your barber?
Nigerian.
Yes, sir.
Jamaican.
Yeah, the one before was Jamaican.
Yeah, it's
I
got,
think all my barbers have all been Caribbean. You know, I don't think I've had a Nigerian barber before.
yeah, we had to go a long way to break down
Stereotype.
the stereotypes. Yeah, because there was a point when I'm not letting an African man touch me. That's crazy. Like my barber's Jamaican, one of these Caribbean, you just got to hold me down.
You mean African guy who was born here or was born in Africa, like freshly?
Where was Thingy born? He probably wouldn't.
Because if I was a barber, I'm born and bred here. Would you trust me? Or you know what I mean?
But then you'd be just like a English. They're usually older
men.
men.
What I mean is you mean a freshie.
Kind of ish.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Is
like
freshie an offensive word now?
Uncle-ish.
Or is it still cool? Okay, uncle then. Let's use uncle.
Yeah, it's the uncle.
Uncle. Freshie
No,
is kind of
freshie,
outdated.
it depends on the person.
It's outdated, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying, but then
Fob
that
is
changed.
worse.
Fob, yeah.
No,
Fob
but
is worse.
then that changed though.
mean?
If that makes sense. Then it was kind of calm. You can get the African man can trim you like
Yeah.
It kind of changed. It kind of balanced that. You
Yeah.
get me? It was all right.
Okay.
Before it was like egregious to go to.
That's kind of true though, you know, because all
Is
my
it?
barbers, prior to this guy,
Yeah.
every barber's been Jamaican.
I know, but is there a narrative that African barbers are shit or something? Because I haven't heard that narrative.
I've not heard it, but if every barber is Jamaican, then
Yeah, but that might mean because that's an area that Caribbeans have interest in. That's why they're barbers. Not
Can I
because
ask a stupid question?
maybe.
I want to ask a stupid question. In Nigeria, in Ghana,
Okay.
he started.
have I started wrong?
No, go on.
Yeah, but the question is, are the trims good though?
No, as in
Did they cut hair there?
since
it
I've been in this country, right?
Yeah.
Brent.
I've only known West Indian barbers
Okay.
because I know in the West Indies we care about that type of stuff.
So you're implying,
I'm asking if traditionally
yeah.
in
Yeah.
because I don't know, I'm not from
That's
Nigeria.
all these disclaimers. Okay, I dropped the question.
Do Nigerians have trims or what? Do they
Yeah,
care
but
about their hair?
Not now, because obviously time has gone by. Everybody
but back in the day.
Back in the day.
Get me? Back in the day, did they care about that?
Yeah.
Of course.
All right,
I'm
okay.
gonna ask my dad. I'm not sure because
No, they did.
I wasn't around back then.
Because my brother, when my uncles and stuff used to get trims, yeah.
But where did they get it in
The
Nigeria?
barber shops. Yeah,
Well, if
this
they were
when I
in
lived in
Nigeria,
Nigeria,
I'm sure they
yes.
got it in
No,
Nigeria.
I didn't know where her uncles. I'm
Oh.
not.
No, I'm saying when I lived in Nigeria, the guys did get trims. Like they would come with like nice trims,
Yeah.
Ah.
even in school and stuff.
You had to be. It was part of the culture, man.
Part of the
You
culture.
can't-
We
you
used to
couldn't
have
go
like the posters with like Ludacris and all them people outside the shop.
Ah, okay. Cool, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
So it
but
was
even-
Americanization.
Yeah, westernization, mate. Yeah. Actually, no, that was shade, wasn't it? But the barbers is fun. I used to enjoy going to the barbers because some women feel intimidated going to the barbers, but I thought it was a nice trip. I like being the only girl in there. My barber was very cute as well. I fancied him. Big up Reese wherever he is.
That was a real girl moment, man.
I wanted to join in the conversation. I can't join in with the sports. I might as well join with the haircuts.
Big up Reese wherever he is.
All right. So second headline.
That's a slogan for a tea.
What? Big up Reese.
That's your merch.
What? Big up,
Big up
Reese.
Reese.
Wherever he is.
Good.
I know exactly where that man is, but sorry.
That prison.
No, don't, God forbid, imagine.
How would you know?
Asking questions. Sorry. With the headlines, please.
So Rishi Sunak has said that the UK is a compassionate country after the Home Secretary was criticised for saying Southern England was facing an invasion of illegal migrants. Suella Braverman was accused of using inflammatory language by refugee charities and opposition parties. But some Tory MPs and the ex-leader of UKIP said she was right to speak out. Downing Street did not comment on whether the Prime Minister would also describe the situation as an invasion, but Mr Sunak's official spokesman said the Home Secretary was seeking to express the sheer scale of the challenge that faces the country, with people, including the significant proportion of economic migrants, seeking to make this journey. Ministers are under pressure to tackle the growing numbers crossing the channel in small boats. Ms Braverman has been criticised for overcrowding at the Manston Migrant Processing Centre in Kent, which has reportedly led to outbreaks of disease and violence. The Prime Minister's official spokesman said Rishi Sunak told his cabinet at a meeting on Tuesday that the UK would always be a compassionate and welcoming country. Is the UK a compassionate country?
No.
No?
Compassion about what?
I mean, they're letting people in.
They're not letting people in. They're trying to get them to Rwanda. The people are getting in and they're trying to remove them.
Yeah, but those are illegals, isn't it? Yes, they still got a certain allotment for people who...
Yeah, they have compassion to a degree. To say they have no compassion would be...
I think they have... Actually. To say they don't have any compassion would
be a bit harsh.
But I think the compassion is very capped. It's very... Yeah, it just depends, man.
Cool.
Compassionate more towards a cat and a dog than they are human beings, but...
Yeah, sometimes the compassion is a bit...
it's just a bit...
displaced.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. But yeah, that's the end of the headlines.
All right, we've got an interesting topic of the day, so let's get into it.
Topic of the day. It might be a bit of a heavy one. Definitely probably an introspective one. But the question is, at what point do we, as black people, take accountability and blame ourselves? This is too much. So obviously we heard about Offset. Takeoff passing away yesterday.
Yeah.
And obviously we're kind of just seeing that this is a pattern. You know what I'm saying? A lot of black men dying way before their time, and bare them are rappers as well, right? Are we to blame? Or is it still the white man? I'll start there.
I've never blamed, rapper deaths on the white man.
But you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
I understand what you're saying. If you keep unraveling the veil and keep going back and back and back and back and back, all our problems and where they stem from, then cool. But if you just look at it as an isolated incident between, people, then I'm not blaming them. You know what I mean? But if we're to really dig deep, root causes and origins and nucleuses of things, then cool. But you know what I mean?
So I guess kind of touching on that, what do you think holds more weight?
As in?
Yeah, out of the root cause, if we go backwards and kind of investigate that.
Yeah.
Or today, how we behave and how we see things. What would you, put to...
I would put more weight on today and how we see things and how we act and as adults and the decisions we make, the choices we make, and these things is senseless violence, man. I'm not gonna start blaming the white man for Takeoff death. You know what I mean? I'm gonna blame the shooter and the people in and around. You know what I mean?
Okay. What about you guys?
So I kind of feel like I've said it before, how I feel like with black people that there's certain things where they've been set up. That there's just like it just seems as if like there's black people basically set up for kind of failure, if that makes sense. And I think when it comes to like crimes in America, for example, it just appears like the black men are either like in jail or being killed. Of course, there's other stats or whatever, but that seems to be like that's just the thing over there. I wouldn't necessarily say it's blaming the white man solely, but I do think that, in terms of government and powers that be and stuff, I don't just believe it's just black people doing things to themselves. I don't just believe it's nothing. I don't believe it's nothing. I don't believe that I feel like there's more to it, and I feel like the powers that be don't. I just think there's just more to all that kind of situation.
Yeah, I think if you break it down, for example, gun laws.
Yeah.
In America, that's legislated by white people. So if you look at that and say, okay, cool, this crime was the weapon was a gun. Why was he carrying a gun? Gun was in the state.
So with that, is this a black issue or an American issue?
Maybe a bit of both. I mean, just the day before, we saw the guy in Brixton rapper, got killed as well.
But that's it. I think here we have a different. Obviously, that was a shooting. But here, like, I would liken like the way we talk about gun violence in America. I would liken that to knife crime in the UK.
Yeah.
Do you get me? But I think as well, it's yes, powers to be whatever. But I from stuff I've heard and things I've heard people talk about, and even like people who make it out of the hood, when they talk about where they've come from is like there's not much investment in these areas. So essentially, they're kind of doomed to fail. They don't invest in their schools. They don't invest in just things in itself. Even like just having like police presence there as well. They don't invest in these areas because it's not really seen as worth investing in. And these areas tend to be, again, because obviously I'm black, I will relate more to black, but tend to be black. I'm sure Latinas and stuff, they have their own stories as well. But they tend to be like deprived, poor areas. So that's why I say like it's not, I don't just think it's just things that black people are doing to themselves. I believe
there's one more thing.
There's more to it.
There's a lot of variables, right? But at what point do we start taking accountability for ourselves and our own actions? Is it always pointing the finger? And obviously every situation is different in it, so it depends on what's happened. But when do we say, you know what, take accountability? We done this. It wasn't, you know what I mean? It wasn't. No one forced you to carry a gun. No one forced you to shoot a man over a petulant little argument. You know what I mean? No one asked you to pull that trigger in it. So,
but then you know what
at
it is?
what
I
point
think
do you take accountability?
I think when
I think
you
it
know
depends
better,
on what level your argument's on, if that makes sense. Like who you're having the argument with, you know what I'm trying to say? Like if it's on ground level, then you have to have it with the people that are responsible for what they're doing and for what got done and whatever. That's the people in the community, the people that's going on time on that level. I think if you're taking your fight somewhere bigger and it's with officials or government or whatever, then you can't ignore the cause and the roots of the problem. You know what I'm trying to say? That. So I think it depends on what level you're taking your argument to.
because you know, even with people doing better and like taking accountability, I think is if life isn't, if you're in struggle, it's difficult for you to, like, you stepping out of that is, you're like an anomaly.
Yeah.
You get me? You're an anomaly to come from a poverty, like to come from a poor background where there's a lot of crime with you around you. Everyone's taking part in crime. You can't afford this, and the only way is that to rob and steal and whatever it is. For you to be able to take yourself out of them and be like, oh, do you know what? I did that. I just think the conditions that they face and make, like, I think sometimes the condition that people face is higher and stronger than you simply just taking accountability. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's difficult for a person to just be like, do you know what? I did that. Because really and truly, the circumstances that led that person to do that can't be ignored.
Are you, okay, what are you talking about in particular? So, for example, in this case, are you talking about the shooter, that he can't take accountability and he has to look at, oh, why did I do this? Is it because of systematic racism and oppression and the
So,
you know what I mean? He has to take accountability for what he done. He can't now point a finger at the white man to the reason why he shot the gun. You know what I mean? Like, he has to take onus.
I'm thinking about him even getting into the place where this is his mindset, where he does react that way, where he does shoot. Like, where we're having a gun, we're having an argument with someone, the easiest way you see a resolution for that is to shoot. Do you get what I mean? I don't know if I'm saying making sense.
I get what you mean, but the judge ain't gonna look at it that way.
Of course not. But again, even those systems are not in place to help them.
And QC and Quavo, and they ain't gonna look at it that way. They ain't gonna be like, oh, you know what? He only shot him because of programming and the plight of black people.
Do you know what's mad?
That's not their mindset.
I was gonna get into him Word on Road, but the person that one of the bullets that hit him was actually from people that was with him.
Yeah,
it was meant to hit the other people that were arguing. Do you get me? So even with that, say Takeoff didn't die and that bullet did hit the other side as intended.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be having that conversation about, oh, like, do you mean they wouldn't be having a conversation of compassion? Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So even with that, it's a problem
that
people see like conflict resolution as killing a person.
Yeah.
Like, do you know how wild it is? Like, everyone's second got one life, right? On Earth. We've got one life on Earth, right? How, like, what how can your mind be shaped for you to want to literally silence a person forever? You don't care about anything. Do you get me? Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, these things is just deeper than a person being born that way. I think it's a lot of circumstances, and a lot of circumstances that's contributed to them being that way.
No,
Some people are like that.
I hear you, but are you giving them grace? So if someone, for example, killed your family member in a senseless act of violence, I'm not giving them that grace. I'm sorry. I'm not thinking about the reasons why they done this because of the plight of black people and this. I'm not thinking about that. You killed my family member. It stops there for me. I'm not thinking about the deep-rooted reasons why, as blacks, we are here. No, my family member just got shot for no reason. That's it.
Yeah, but then that's in a personal situation. I'm talking about it in relation to the topic, because usually, like, you can't. I don't know what I would say. I would hope that even when that happens to me, because I don't want to live with anger and live with that. Do you get what I mean? Because when I hear cases where someone's family has been shot or someone's family has been killed and the person forgives them, I'm always like, wow, that is a different level of everything. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So I wouldn't speak to that. And I think, and of course, like, if something did happen to me like that, I wouldn't be thinking about the wider society. Like, that is not going to be my focus in that time. So what I'm saying is, in terms of this conversation about whether we do this to ourselves or whether there's other things that have played a part to that.
I mean, like, I personally, I definitely agree. I think environment definitely has a big influence, man, because obviously at a certain age, because of your environment and stuff, like, you're going to see the world in a particular way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at a certain age, I didn't see the world past anything I saw in my estate. That was it. I just thought, everything I see here, what certain guys are doing, that's the only route. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. Until you hear or see certain things, you go to maybe a school out of the ends, interact with certain people, you know what I'm saying? So I understand the environmental kind of influence and stuff, but to kind of take it away from, like, how the environment kind of influences us and kind of make it more about the music, right? Because we're talking about rappers here and just rappers just dying all the time, right? Is the music contributing?
No, man, that's bullshit, man.
No?
Because why are we going to go through the whole entertainment industry as well? Like, everything, like films, all this stuff, computer games, are you going to do all that?
Yeah, for me personally, I don't follow the music contributing.
I think art imitates life, like what people say. So if these people wasn't living how they was living, they wouldn't have anything to talk about. And I'm not saying it doesn't, I'm not saying it can't influence people, but it's more influencing. I think there's more chance of it influencing people who ain't from that lifestyle.
Yeah, that's true.
If that makes sense. It's got more chance of influencing people from the suburbs, of people wanting to try and get involved in that stuff because it's glorifying it and glamorizing it. You know what I'm trying to say? It's not making people in that situation any more worse. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, the music's not making them worse. Like, this, I don't think so, because it's like, it's just music. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you turn the music off, you didn't play the music off, they go outside, they still got ups.
Yeah.
Do you know, I think... I
was just going to say, do you feel like the music, even though it don't make us, for example, want to do certain things, like if you're living that life, right, do you think it makes you want to remain in it, though? You know what I'm saying? Because if you're kind of... That's your narrative of your music, right? That's the message you're putting out there. You do this and do that, right? Do you feel like, okay, you kind of have to have the same type of friendship groups?
Well, if you're making the music.
Yeah, if you're making the music.
Yeah, I think if you're making street music, you're going to want to stay in the streets. Like, it authenticates.
Exactly.
It authenticates everything that you're doing.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Let me turn the TV up. Can hear. How are you guys?
We're good, thank you. How are you? Sorry, we didn't hear the first part. What did you say?
I said I didn't hear. I had the TV on, but I was also listening to the call, so I didn't hear. Sorry if there was an echo.
Oh, is it right? Are you
just
from
wanted
America?
to... Yeah, I am. Recording live from Los Angeles.
Oh, we love
How are
this.
You guys?
How are you, hon?
Oh, good, thank you.
Good. I try to watch when I can. Now this time difference is throwing off my sleep schedule. You guys, it's 1 a.m. when you guys start versus 12, how it usually is.
I know, you're a real one.
Nonetheless, I wanted to jump in about, somebody said something about how music doesn't play an influence in basically the state of all this stuff that's happening. And I think that we should really evaluate that conversation, because at the end of the day, nobody's saying that music is saying go out there and kill people. But as Black people, we have to think about how our culture impacts the lifestyle people aspire to have. And yes, people might be rapping about what's real to them, but you have to understand that other people, the way it's glorified and the ego that comes with the lifestyle that people are proud of in the music is what's making people also aspire for that. Like the other day, I was walking past and I saw my neighbors and they were taking pictures like for Halloween, but it was like a costume, and I guess they had guns with the costume. I'm like, why is this even normalized? Like, it's because in music, people are so proud to be like, oh, I shot up this, I shot up that, and that might be your life. But to other people who's not their life, when you talk about those things in a proud way, it's like, I should aspire to have that too. When it comes to like dealing with issues and conflict resolution, and people are proud to be like, yeah, you know what, cross me the wrong way, I'll deal with you. Like, people think that's how you're supposed to deal with shit in real life. We just have to hold ourselves accountable to the fact that that's the type of shit that we put in the media, that's the type of shit we put in music. And we can't inherently expect people to act differently and be like, yeah, this is music, but in real life, we act X, Y, Z. No. The rappers that people glorify are often gang related. People think that's real life. No. Like, I don't know, be for real. Like, we have to just hold ourselves a little bit more accountable for the type of stuff we put out there, and the type of ways that we talk about it, even if it's not meant to advertise in a way that you should do it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
So do you think it contributes to like, do you think people are doing like more gangbanging and stuff because of the music?
I don't think people are doing more. I think they're doing it more proudly. Like, it's almost like a badge of honor type thing. Like, I don't know. It's a weird complex, but I also think that it's not just, it's a combination of how it's glorified in the Black community while also dealing with like the different state laws that like go into play. We have to think about where offset shooting took place. This is Houston, Texas. Texas is an open carry state.
Yeah.
That's one of the states where they're very loud and proud about their guns. It's a very white-rooted issue because it's like an protect yourself type vibe. Like, in general, it makes people more gun happy, where it's like, you know what, offend me again, I'll deal with you. But that's the type of stuff that we put out there where it's like, you know what, it's almost like a kill or get killed. How do we then deal with that complex?
Well, if that's a reality for them, how do they deal with it? If it really is kill or be killed for some people, then when your survival instinct kicks in, what do you want them to do? What do you do?
Sorry?
I said if it really is kill or be killed. I'm saying you're saying that attitude and that mentality is not good and whatever. Yeah, but I'm saying if that's their reality though, like if it really is when someone walks out their door, that is really their reality. Like they gotta stay woke. You get me?
Yeah,
if they ain't on point or got a certain amount of, they're gonna be killed. Then how do you deal with that? How does you change that in them? What do you want them to do?
I think it's one of those things that it's hard to tell someone not to protect themselves, but also I think the way that the media can go about just being better about influencing is just like making sure that we're being intentional about what we post. So I read something where somebody was like, you never saw Takeoff rapping too tough about street shit because he knew what type of influence that would have over people. Same concept here. There are rappers who make sure they're intentional about the type of lyrics they use, the type of things that they talk about, or the type of things they discuss. I feel like it was a UK rapper I was watching on a podcast where he was talking about how it's foreign for him to even talk about like, oh, you're not going to hear me say, oh, I knifed XYZ. Like, what is that? Like, there are people listening to my music, and I'm not going to, even though that may be my life, I'm not going to use my platform to advertise that. I think starting there and making it like a cool thing for these influencers, people in music to like make sure they're being intentional about their platform and like make sure they're putting things out that it's like, you know what, this might be my life, but it's not yours. I think that would be a better way to start. Yeah. It may not fix the problem entirely, but it's a start.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think a lot of people, not everybody knows that music is just like it might just be music. So some people take that as, some people just take that as that's your lifestyle. Like that's what's happening. Some people want to emulate that. But I do agree in that I think it does make it may not make people do it more, but it does it does glorify it.
Yeah,
I believe. And I think also, I think it definitely does glorify. And I think also some people, it just, crap, I forgot my point. got the point.
Only thing I don't like when people say that, because I think like it's just bad evidence, man. It's not a good argument when people start talking about the music, because then they start thinking like, then you start attacking the music and moving like, if you're going to change the music or change what these lot can do or change the thing, then it's going to have any impact on the reality of the world. But that's not true. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it has to start in the communities and in real world. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, if you change people's situations, then we're going to get a change in the music. You get what I'm trying to say? It's not like, oh, just attack the music, just go for the rappers, just ban drill music, just boom, boom. That's not going to do nothing. You're just going to stop them from being able to promote it, and it's, okay, cool, they can't glorify it as much, but it's not going to change no one's life at all.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why I don't like it, because when people do that, they move like music's the problem and it's the issue. And I mean, not the issue, but it's the
Yeah, no, it's not.
You know what I'm saying?
Because even without the music, the violence and the crime still exists.
Still exists, yeah.
100%.
So the music just comes from it. It's not the other way around, is it?
Yeah.
So, you know, it does.
I just think that yeah, I agree with you. Don't get me wrong, completely. But we also have to sometimes when we think about it like that, I think unintentionally we minimize how much the role music plays in the overall culture. Like it's one thing if it was just lyrics, but like, okay, you take the song, now look at the video. It's everyone waving guns left and right as if it's an accessory. Now when you see people on Instagram story doing waving guns, we've now normalized it. It's until you're waving guns on the wrong day that the wrong person now gets shot. Now it's music doesn't have but it's like, had that not been something that people normalized, had that not been something the aesthetic of it wasn't something that people aspired to, we probably wouldn't have been in this situation, because it would have been a foreign concept to think guns is an accessory. Not that it's responsible, but we also would be naive to think that it doesn't play a part. Music is a big part of culture. Music directs fashion, directs attitude, directs. It's a big part of it. So I think now that we're seeing all these rappers who are dying, you know, it's time to really be more intentional and take more control of what we can versus blaming it on things like institutional racism. Those play a part, but we've lost control in those issues. Let's control what we can control. The narrative.
The government could control it if they cared. You know what I'm trying to say? All this stuff that's going around.
It's not that easy.
If people was making music about a different demographic of people and putting this music out there like how we put it out there, it would be deemed as hate speech. You know what I'm trying to say? If you be saying that I'm going to kill this one, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You couldn't do it to a certain demographic. So it'll be deemed as hate speech. They'll shut it down. But you can say you're going to do anything about black people anywhere and get endorsed by anyone.
Do you know what's there was a
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. A comedian said that one time. And then when he swapped the words, like when he swapped the N words for like other words, it's mad, because even to me I was like, oh, that's a bit much. But again, it's because
I've seen that. You're talking about.
Yeah,
and who it was, though.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was, and he literally swapped. He's like, oh, I'm going to walk down the street, I'm going to kill this nigga, da, da, da. And it sounded like a rap, like rap lyrics. And when he took it out and inserted like, I'm going to kill this Chinese guy, it sounded like, whoa, buddy, kind of thing. And even that's weird, because that's me being socialized
I remember who it was, man.
to believe that it's not that. But sorry, what were you going to say, hon?
I was going to say, I think that it's going back to the point of like trying to take control of what we can. I don't think we're at a point where we can go back to rely on government intervention, because all of it's going to end up being a racism issue anyway, at least in America. People who are being impacted by this most is black people. It's going to get convoluted where it's like okay, let's find a way to sneak some institutional racism in here where we're going to be jailing more black people in more droves, and it's just going to feed into our overall issues at large. I just think that sometimes the black community, at least here, I can't speak for the UK because obviously I'm not from there, but like sometimes I feel like we get into this habit of blaming, you know, things that have happened historically, which I don't think it makes sense for us to not give historical issues accountability, but continuing to blame it versus controlling what we can do, it's only breeding bigger problems. It's not white people who's out here pushing the narrative that the culture that we follow. It's not. It's us.
Yeah, no, that speaks to our.
Do what we can to figure out how to. Do what we can to figure out how we can control the avenues that we have.
Like,
it's our rappers who we're supporting.
Like, so who your fights with, then, innit?
Exactly. Like if you see people who are pushing these bad narratives, I'm not saying don't give them a platform, but don't give them a platform. Period.
Yeah, I think you should pick and choose who you're gonna. If your fights with government officials, and that's the kind of change that you're looking at, then your argument could take that stance of looking at the past. I think if you got boots on the ground dealing with man on the street corner that's going now. You can't be pushing the blame on white people. They have to take accountability for their actions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? That in that moment, you have to talk about, why are you carrying these guns? Why are you doing this kind of thing? So, like I said, I think it honestly just depends on where you're taking your fight to, because they both have a place in it. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you can't just ignore the root or the cause of the problem. What got us to here? But at the same time, you can't. People got to take accountability for their actions. You get me? So it's a weird one.
I think it's a lot of things.
Who do you guys think consumes like drill music the most, or like rap music, I should say? Do you feel like it's
Black people?
Yeah.
Think so?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because it's nearly gone into popular. It's gone into popular culture,
No,
popular
wait.
music. So the masses we're still going to be the minority.
I remember
Like the kind of numbers that hip hop and that's doing now.
Yeah.
That's not just black people and people of color.
And even back in the day, like when guys like Snoop was like selling crazy records and stuff, white people.
But you said drill, not hip hop.
No, rap music.
Just everything underneath the umbrella,
Rap,
you mean?
Yeah.
It's hard for me to say that I think white people listen to it the most. If we're going to go into population and numbers and stuff, then cool. But in my heart, it feels like it's black people.
Because the reason why I'm asking, because again, you guys know what I'm going to say. Like, I see things from an economic standpoint, right? People only do certain things that's going to sell, right? That's going to be popular. But then it begs one to ask, why is this the thing that's being pushed? Because like, if I don't know that you're like, if for example I'm buying, I don't know, plates all the time, and I don't know that you sell cups, I'm not gonna look for cups. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like people are kind of only being fed drill music. So if I'm a rapper, am I really gonna try and do conscious music, or am I gonna go towards drill?
I don't know. Thing is, when you really go back, yeah, but I can't blame the distributor. Like, drill music's being made because they want to make drill music. You know what I mean? They don't want to make.
And this is a reflection of their life.
And what I'm saying is, if you keep going further back, then you're right.
Yeah.
Like, if you keep going back and back, cool. But I'm not trying to go that far back to say, you know what I mean? I'm trying to live in the now, innit? Rather than saying, if conscious music was glorified and pushed more back in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, then there'd be more conscious music now. I get it, innit?
Yeah.
But that's not the reality, innit? So when are we going to stop thinking about yonder and start thinking about now?
Present,
you know what I mean?
Okay, but even now, do you feel as though if for example, drill wasn't selling, right? Do you think all the drill rappers would still remain doing drill?
If it wasn't selling, wasn't making money, then no, because they're not doing it just to make drill. They're doing it because they want to make a living out of it. I'm assuming.
Exactly.
If it's just a hobby for you and you love drill, then just go all out.
Because it's the trending sound. So
Exactly.
they
If
do it.
it was more like trending to be like a conscious rapper now,
Yeah.
bare drill rappers overnight, I believe, will start doing conscious.
Start
conscious
giving
music.
you Wellness
100%.
Wednesdays.
I'm telling you, they would.
I actually want
No,
to
I
see
hear
that.
it, but like, does that help us in this plight we're facing right now?
I think it does, because I think to some degree it forces us to hold certain people in positions of power accountable.
Yeah, but when are we
Because
gonna?
they're pushing.
That's what
certain-
cancel.
I
What
get
you're
it, but
describing, Mars.
Mark,
Oh no, that's Yusuf.
What you're describing, Mars, is what. Oh, sorry. What I forgot. I'm sorry. I'm trying to listen and watch it. Match way. It's my fault. What you're describing is what cancel culture should be. What cancel culture in its effective state should be is, this is a message that you're pushing. It's wrong. Next caller. We should not be giving you a platform. And that's where it works. Somebody said it in the comments just a second ago. Daniel Caesar is a case in point. I don't remember exactly what his cancellation story was, but when artists start it's happening to Kanye. When artists start pushing narratives that are just flat out wrong, why are we giving them the influence that they have? People are onto trends. When it's trendy to be like, yeah, that narrative is wrong. I hate that it has to get to that point to where we have to make people following the right way of life a trend. But like, when it gets to that point where it's a trend, people to start being intentional about what they consume, that's when we're going to start seeing real change. But it's almost like it has to start with the consumer. We're seeing people die. We're seeing things happen in the world. Start thinking about listen to music while you read the lyrics.
Yeah.
You'll start thinking about how shit, this is fucked up. I started doing that recently. I was like, damn, this is crazy. Next. I can't listen to it the same.
Do you guys feel like?
Yeah.
like people was taking Molly because of rap music? Or do you think everyone was taking Molly?
What's
Yeah.
that one they always take? The cough syrup.
Yeah,
Lean.
No,
Lean,
yeah,
that's
no.
it.
Rap music definitely made people do lean.
100%.
Not
No, it
not
can-
not not
100%
from
Molly
not
too.
from inception. Obviously, it was.
But
Yes, it probably. Of course.
do you feel that's the same? case
Molly,
as
ecstasy.
I think rap music influences a lot, not just clothes, what you wear, like tattoo culture,
well? Yeah.
grills, drugs, like
Yeah.
guns.
See, the reason why I'm saying that is because if we can, because I think if
Sorry. Stacey, thank you very much
Oh,
for
thank you,
calling in.
Stacey.
Thank you, Stacey.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. Oh, I have something to read as well. By the way, it links to all of this.
You've
by
been
the way.
fantastic. Thank you.
Alright, cool.
Thank you, Han. Bye.
Because me personally, I have to rank environment and the whole social engineering above all these things. Personally, right? If I think of all the contributing factors, right? But I can't lie to myself and act as though we don't propagate it ourselves with the music. I can't, because I feel like
No, we
You know
we
what I'm
do. We glorify it for
100%.
showing music.
and I think that makes it a bit worse.
Yeah, it makes it worse. It definitely contributes to the issue, right? We glorify it. We make it almost it's normalized.
Yeah, and this is why I asked about the Molly and the lean.
Yeah.
Because if we can say music has the influence, the power to kind of push that and propagate it, surely when we're talking about killing niggas and all them type of things there, that's kind of making the next generation or even our generation want to either remain in it or kind of continue it to some degree.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
You know what I'm saying?
I get what you mean with the influences. My thing is, I think people make it like it's making people do things.
Yeah, I agree with you. As well.
And I don't think
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? That
Yeah,
so
same
it
here.
is going to have the influences, but it's not influencing regular Joes to do stupid
Nah.
things. Like it's like you might make someone that had 70% chance of them shooting a nigga, 85% chance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? But
yeah.
they were still gonna shoot niggas. This is what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say.
that badness that they had inside them, or the reasoning behind the shooting, didn't come from music.
No.
It was already there.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And that's why I point to the whole environment, social engineering, the way we think, our conditions contribute as the main contributing factor. But I think if you're like kind of attacking it from another angle as well, I think, like I was saying earlier, I think we have to kind of hold record labels and certain people accountable, man. Yeah. Because if it wasn't cool for us to make music like this, they wouldn't push it. You know what I'm saying? And there's been instances with certain rappers trying to release certain types of music, right? And A&R's, record execs saying, no, we're not going to allow you to do this particular thing. Do this. You see what I'm saying? Yes, you may say, okay, yes, because it sells. But I feel like they benefit from our trauma, 100%.
Yeah, it's not just because it sells, it's because they think it benefits to the destruction of the black
Of
community.
the black community.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
That's why they endorse it, and that's why it's
Exactly.
fine. Because if, like I said, if it was anything else, it's not coming out.
Exactly.
You can't make
Exactly.
it. You couldn't drop it. You get me? But
No,
all this
I
stuff
agree
is
with
cool. Even down to like you could do sell drugs, kill black people. You could do anything. So as soon as you start going into different demographics, then you start being reprimanded for it. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, so Rick Ross has said everything under the sun. It wasn't until he made that comment about spiking the girls' drink and then you're attacking women and stuff like that. Then you start losing endorsements.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? But essentially, it was just song lyrics, and it was the same thing when he was talking about he just committed murder 600 million times, and everybody was fine with it. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? That so it's going to be the same thing. If anything, if it's going to be, I don't know, homophobic, anti-Semitic, any of these things, it's not going to fly.
Yeah.
But when it's killing and the destruction of the black man, it's like, oh yeah, no, that's promote that, man. That's lit.
See, what you're saying there to me is 100% facts, right? Do you feel like that is enough to make us question, when I say us, I'm talking about like the musicians, right? Question what's going on? Or do you feel like people don't care enough?
Yeah, no one don't care enough. If the money's running,
Yeah, no one cares
if
enough.
the money's running, no one cares enough to look at all that shit. They're just going to keep doing what they're doing.
So then what obviously this is just off the top of our heads, right? But then what's the potential solution to this? Because surely we can't keep going on.
As into rappers dying at this rate, or just rappers dying, period?
Yeah, just you know, because these guys obviously they're rappers, right, and certain image, but they're fathers and sons.
Yeah,
and
of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're regular people too.
They're human beings, yeah.
But can I
It's
reason
not
for
just
you
music
answer
because
that?
I don't think Migos ain't even like. Obviously, they're from Atlanta and they're like they're from the streets and all that. But like their whole brand and that, it's not even like particularly aggressive.
That's true.
No, it's not aggressive at all.
Like it's just.
This,
Give me them man are like some young fly niggas, man. Like just
yeah.
want to get money in that.
I've heard a lot of conflicting stories about what actually happened. I'm sure we'll get onto it on the Warden Road, but it wasn't even a hostile
like
situation.
that,
it was just something, a petty argument that just went left.
But 100%, I agree with you as well. Like, obviously, they're not like trying to come out as like the most gangsters group ever. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
That's not their brand and whatnot. But I guess when you just look at stats and you just look at it like rappers, it's like every month, man.
Yeah, no, it's,
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
I even forgot that P&B Rock just passed away.
This is it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's just if we just like look at the popular ones that get highlighted.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
For real, like, in America, like rappers are dying damn near all the time. You get me? Like with the local up and coming youths just before they blew up and stuff like that. Like it's right.
Yeah, man. Esther, you was gonna say something.
It was about, hold on. So it was Lakeith Stanfield. So he posted yesterday and he posted up, he said, if you are for gangster rap, you can't also be for black. And then the caption is, the dangerous toxicity associated with this glorified black serial killer and killed music and imagery got people thinking it's cool to hurt those that look like them and only them. It's okay to embrace the realities of life in the harder areas, but let's think about not holding up this behavior in our circles. Let's make it cool to embrace life, travel, and learn new things. I know that scope of issues we have to contend with is much larger than just this, and that we have a lot of work to do in many areas to restore our hearts and minds after centuries of persecution and manipulation, but we have to start somewhere. At some level, we have to see our lives as valuable so that we think before we react and see another human when we look at a human man. We must stop holding self-destructive shit up and embrace things that build us as a whole so that we can lead the world into a direction of prosperity by example. Getting reckless now and again is part of who we are, but for the most part, turn that stupid shit off. It was very interesting post. It was like mixed feelings with it, but I do think it's that, because for me, even when I was mentioning earlier about how like you can disagree with someone, like death is just so final, and to want to do that to a person over whatever it is that you're feeling, like I don't think we see ourselves as valuable. I don't think that people involved with that see themselves as, or see human life as valuable. I don't know. I don't know. I think the music definitely does influence it. I think it does contribute to it, but I think it's too many. It's many things. It's not just one thing. And yes, obviously people will rap about their reality. If they're struggling in real life, if this is what they have to do, they will rap about that because that is the reality. The way so many people sing about heartbreak and whatever, it's all drawn from a real place. However, I do think that it does have its influence on some people. And I think also even the people that do rap like that, you might say you're not about that life, or you don't live your raps, right? However, that's where I think ego kind of comes into it as well, because if, for example, someone's out there disrespecting you, because people have this image of you like, oh, he's a tough guy. You're not. This is where your ego will just come. You're not going to want to appear weak now. Do you get what I mean? So I just think it's just too many.
You said that obviously
things.
You're saying that you can't understand like if someone want to just kill someone.
Yeah.
Is there a scenario that you can create in your head where you think like killing someone would be justified?
It would be for me. So it would be more like, so you see when people that just like they're no proper crazy crimes where it's like capital punishment. I do think capital punishment should exist in certain situations.
No, but I'm not talking about punishment. I'm not talking about done within the parameters of the law. I'm talking about, is there a
Like outside in
situation
normal
that a
life.
human being could get in and you think he could be justified to take that person's life?
So say someone just killed someone unprovoked, didn't have a problem with them, blah, blah. I can see the person who's with them, who that's their loved one, I can see them being enraged where they then kill that person. As in the person who killed their family member.
So revenge and stuff. Well,
Yeah, so revenge killing, obviously depends, but revenge killing, but again, I don't necessarily think it's right, but I can understand why it is in that moment you were enraged, and that was
because maybe all these things are
human.
not all these things are not necessarily so black and white. You get me? It's not just all senseless killings. And obviously, like wrong is wrong, right is right, and murder's wrong. No one should want to do that. You shouldn't want to take anybody's life and stuff like that. I get you, but if even in your head or anybody's head or anybody watching, if there's parameters or a scenario that you can create in your head, where you think, you know what, if this happened, then but. This stuff's happening. You get what I'm trying to say? It's not like it's just all senseless killings. Because obviously there's pure senseless killings and stuff like that. But there's certain times when people are doing things and like every action has a reaction. And
but do you know what it is though? Do you know what it is about the senselessness?
Do you get what I mean?
The senselessness of it though, everybody who does something will always have a way to justify it. Do you get what I mean? So the person who all these rappers that have been killed, the people who killed them have a reason to justify it. Nipsey, from what I know, did he rap about like violence and carrying guns and stuff like that? I don't know, but
he would have at some point. Maybe he might have changed, but
he was someone who, his public image was someone who liked peace and calmness and whatever. Do you get what I mean? Yet he was killed. So, and the person who killed him, people always have a justification for these things. So even me saying that if someone did revenge killing, I can understand why it was that they got to that point, but it still doesn't make it right. Do you get what I mean? But it's crazy, man.
Last thing I wanted to ask, is it's kind of off a bit, but still kind of related. Do you feel as though like the older generation, like our fathers and stuff like that, let's just say from 50 upwards, could do more to kind of solve certain situations? So say we heard, I don't know, certain guys. Say you're a father now, right? 50 plus and whatnot. You heard certain guys in your estate, right? Got beef with these guys over there. And you know, for example, one of the fathers from like these guys' ops, right? Do you feel like you guys could come together and kind of do some conflict resolution?
No, unless you've put these things in places and there's a system and there's a hierarchy that's gone in place and been there for a long time. You can't just wake up and talk about all this stuff because man don't care because man will. Like my dad goes, Dad, you keep trying shit, I'll ban your brethren. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? It's just that. Like, I don't know this nigga from now. I don't care about these people. You can't tell me nothing. You know what I'm trying to say? Because the reality is the reality. You up there sitting up, talking, having all your shit, big people talk. When we're out in these streets, what these young boys are doing is up and stuck. You get me? It's on and popping. So I'm not listening to none of these lot's foolishness. You get me? There would have to be things put in place. There would have to be that hierarchy and that system put in place already. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, that's why these like on some real mob shit. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, it would have to be there ready so we can reach over there and have the conversation that you need to have, and then that person's got the power to send it down the chain to make sure this stuff happens. I don't think you can't just wake up and start policing people. You know, like come like if stuff's going on in the community now, man say, no, it's the olders, man. The olders need to fix. Let all them old man come out on the corner and start chatting. No one ain't listening to these people. You haven't even got a hand in the streets. You ain't got no say, no status around here. Like, you're just old. Just old man who think like no one don't care. Yeah. This is what the problem is. You get me? But I don't know. Definitely not.
Reason why I asked that, and I by the way, I 100% agree, is like because in the past you've seen someone like Minister Farrakhan, come out and kind of do some conflict resolution, and he's made things occur. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, obviously, there's only one Farrakhan. But say there was people that kind of had that position where we kind of looked up to them. I don't know, certain leaders maybe that we kind of put on that pedestal. Could they do the same thing? But you pretty much answered the question anyway, so. But yeah.
All right, well, let's get into our next headlines.
No, it's not too late.
All right. So Israelis are heading to the ballot box for unprecedented fifth time in 4 years on Tuesday, as Israel holds yet another national election aimed at ending the country's ongoing political deadlock. So that happened yesterday. So for the first time in 13 years, the former Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is not running as the incumbent. Bibi, as he's universally known in Israel, is hoping to return to power as the head of the hard-right coalition, whilst the centrist caretaker Prime Minister Yair Lapid is hoping the mantle of the acting premiership will help keep him in place. The country has been locked in an unprecedented period of political stalemate since 2019, when its longest-serving leader was charged with bribery, fraud, and breach of trust, which he denies. Mr. Netanyahu was forced from office in mid-2021 when the centrist politician Yair Lapid, who's the current prime minister, pulled together a surprising coalition with liberal, right-wing and Arab parties united by their opposition to him. The government outlasted the expectations of many, but finally collapsed in June. Netanyahu issued a stark warning as he cast his ballot on Tuesday morning. When asked by CNN about fears he would lead a far-right government if he returns to office, Netanyahu responded with an apparent reference to the Ra'am party, which made history last year by becoming the first Arab party ever to join an Israeli government coalition. He said, "We don't want a government with the Muslim Brotherhood, who support terrorism, deny the existence of Israel, and are pretty hostile to the United States. This is what we're going to bring." Lapid, who hopes he and his political allies will defy polling predictions and remain in power, cast his ballot in Tel Aviv on Tuesday with a message to voters. Good morning, vote wisely. Vote for the state of Israel, the future of our children and our future in general. The name of Lapid's party, Yesh Atid, means there is a future. The second headline, it's not fully related, but somewhat. And the National Union of Students, NUS, has dismissed its president, Shaima Dalali, over anti-Semitism claims. It follows an independent code of conduct investigation after allegations were made against her. The findings of a wider investigation into the NUS are yet to be published. Miss Dalali was elected during the NUS's national conference in March, and concerns were soon raised by Jewish students about her views. In 2012, Ms. Dalali posted a tweet that included an Arabic chant that referenced a massacre of Jews in the year AD 628, which she has since apologized for. It is possible she could appeal against the decision. In a statement, the NUS apologized for the harm that has been caused and said it hoped to rebuild the NUS in an inclusive way. Chloe Field, who's the acting chair of the NUS UK board, said that she was proud to fight on behalf of all students. She said, "I am determined to work together with the Union of Jewish Students to re-establish trust in our organisation and tackle some of the biggest issues facing students right now." In a statement, the Union of Jewish Students said it respects the decision, but it also added that anti-Semitism in the student movement goes beyond the actions of any one individual, and this case is a symptom of a wider problem. Jewish students across the country will be asking how an individual deemed unfit for office by NUS was elected in the first place.
It's just seeming like this is a buzzword nowadays. Is there, I'm not going to say, I don't want to sound crazy, but like, is there like an anti-Semitism problem like in the world, or is it just...
I think it depends on who you ask. The Jewish people will say 100%. Other people may not.
Okay.
Put it that way.
No, because it's just everywhere
Yeah.
at the moment as well. It's going, they're trying to get Kyrie Irving out of there as well. You see that?
Yeah, he's posting it.
Suspended him and that.
Yeah. I didn't see the post though. I think he also said
He
something.
tweeted.
But it was
No,
old,
he
though. The post was old.
he retweeted a link to a book and a film. Is it called From Hebrews to Negroes or something like that?
Okay.
So it was on Amazon. It was an Amazon link. He
Yeah.
just retweeted it. He didn't even say anything. He just retweeted the link to the book,
See?
and they went crazy.
It's what I was saying to you, Brent. You see what I'm saying? Just you saying that black people were Hebrews is a problem.
They're saying that's anti-Semitic, yeah,
It's
basically.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, be
Anyway,
careful what you say.
you see what I'm saying?
Careful what you retweet.
That's a book.
It's on Amazon. It's available to buy. It's not even like he broke the law. It's available to buy on Amazon now.
Yeah, but it shows that for them, it's like you're endorsing that message, and that's enough sometimes for people.
Yeah, but if it's so bad, why?
To
Talk
be
to Jeff
honest,
Bezos.
that particular argument doesn't hold weight, because if it is a white person retweets Mein Kampf, then it's a different thing, right?
Retweets what?
Hitler's manifesto.
What, is Amazon selling that too?
I'm just saying.
Is Amazon selling
It's
that?
on sale, Brent. It's at Blackwell's.
Is Amazon selling that?
Let me just check.
No, it is.
Let me
Yeah,
check.
but the thing is,
I'm
just
I'm
because-
assuming you would be able to buy this particular book.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
100%.
there's a lot
Alright.
that's on sale, but you don't retweet the links or anything because it doesn't. There's going to be a lot of things that's on sale.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean we all subscribe to things that are on sale. So it being on sale is not necessarily the problem because you can't really
Police whether or not they're on
police
sale.
exactly release what people write, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But if you do retweet something
It's the
that
endorsement.
has exactly it's an endorsement of it. So yeah.
Yeah, but you might be saying that's fine to endorse the book. I mean, it's just reading.
What you mean, Mein Kampf?
No.
Or are you talking about the other one?
The other one.
No, because the reality is.
What's
Do you want me to talk properly?
what's the ethos? What's
It's conversation.
the actual ethos of that particular book? Like,
I
what's
don't know.
Oh,
I've not read the book, but I only saw like the front thing, so I don't know. But
I couldn't
I'm
know, but
assuming-
from what I've heard, it's something. He's basically saying that like black people were Jews or something like that,
the original Hebrews.
Okay.
and they're saying there's a lot of rhetoric and
Yeah.
Is it
anti-Semitic
facts?
trope in there. Basically,
I
there's
don't
stuff
know.
that.
I'm asking.
No, that
I'll
wasn't.
get into it.
Yeah, please, because that that's not saying anything. He wants an answer.
No, it's because Mark was talking. I didn't want to.
All right, okay.
Because if the book is based on facts,
Do you know
and it's not like conspiracy or rumor or hearsay, then
But again, just to kind of be sensitive to both sides, Jewish people will feel like it's not facts. It's basically hate speech.
Okay.
Because one side of the other argument is basically that black people are the original Jews and that the white Jews, European Jews today stole their birthright.
Okay.
So that's where the hate speech is. It's not necessarily just, we are the original Jews and that's it. It's more so we are the original Jews and you guys came and usurped us.
Okay.
You guys are fake. You guys are this. You guys, you know what I'm saying?
Is there evidence to back up the book that he...
that particular book, I don't know. I can't speak for that book. But the actual narrative, I know about the narrative. And there's evidence from both sides, 100%.
Yeah, we can find evidence anyway, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. But it's there's good evidence for both sides, bro.
Yep.
Hey.
Also, so both sides have a valid claim.
100%, yeah.
So then where's the discrepancy then? Exactly.
Because one particular side, how do I word this?
Carefully.
One particular side has, I guess, at the moment, a greater claim.
A stronger claim.
Stronger claim.
Okay,
They're in that position now.
Okay, only because of that.
I mean, one could say that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because if you speak to the other side, then it's questioning a lot of the things that they believe and a lot of the stuff that they say in it. So
Yeah. And you know, it's in the headline when I was talking about Netanyahu. Yeah, he was talking about people challenging the actual state, the existence of the state of Israel. If you talk about that, if you talk about Palestinian rights, you talk about anything to do with that situation there, it will be considered anti-Semitism and hate speech. Because in essence, if you're talking about Palestinian rights, to them or to many people, they're saying, well, if they have certain rights and this is their land, then that means you're saying this is not our land. And that means you're saying we don't deserve to be here. You see what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
And that's what feeds into the whole anti-Semitism from their perspective.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, it's a lot deeper than that, but yeah, this. Yeah. But, yeah, anyway. The way I see it, anyway, is Judaism is a religion. People can convert to Judaism just like they can convert to Islam or convert to Christianity. European Jews don't have a monopoly on Judaism. They don't, because it's fact. You go to Ethiopia now, the Falasha people, there's Jewish black Jews. You know what I'm saying? All around the world. And those same black Jews, when they go to Israel, get treated like they shouldn't be there. That's fact as well. So people can argue back and forth about who the original Jews are. I don't really care. I'm not a Jew. But the reality is, there are black Jews today. And when they're in Israel, which should be the homeland of Jewish people, then they're still treated as if they don't belong there.
because they're black people first.
Shine's
Exactly.
Shine's a Jew.
Exactly, yeah. He's a Jew.
Shine Barrow.
There you go. But yeah.
Man said, yeah, he walked so Ema could run.
You know, that's serious.
Actually screaming, man. You guys are hilarious. All right. Well, I've got some tea for you guys today. So let's get into Word on Road. It's about, we kind of touched on our topic of the day. Takeoff sadly passed away at the age of 28. So the story at the moment is that they're playing a dice game and he was there with Quavo and they had security with them. And there was some kind of heated argument basically. And then shots were fired and a stray bullet basically hit Takeoff, and that's what's happened. I know that obviously the police haven't really got... It's funny. Human beings are funny to me because people were very quick to... And it's so ironic because we actually talked about this yesterday on our topic of the day, about social media and the negatives of social media. And we mentioned about people wanting to be the first ones to break a news and insensitively putting up videos and pictures and just wanting to do too much. And people really showed their ass. Like, case in point, it's ridiculous. So people are very happy to put up videos and put up pictures and put all that stuff up online and to be the first ones to say, guys, I was right there when it happened. If it was right in front of me. But then no one's trying to help the police with anything. It's mad. So the police are out here pleading and begging with people that if you've got any kind of information, let us know, kind of thing.
The funny thing, I've heard some accounts from two girls who were actually there, but they're talking to podcasters. They're not talking to the police.
It's mad.
Same difference.
What? They got a podcast invite one day after.
Yeah, you get a podcast.
I've got a clip. You want me to play a clip? Want to play a clip?
Yeah.
That's the day after. That would have been on the same day they done that.
Yeah, exactly.
Turnover is mad.
Wow.
Podcast is destroying the black community.
We were all there when all this happened. I just left from HPD. First of all, in order to be around Jazz Prince, you have to be searched. None of us had guns, but Jazz people had guns. Okay, all of this this was over Dice Gang. This shit started in Fifth Ward around 9:30 last night. So this had nothing to do with no damn dice game, with no money situation or anything like that. And the only reason why I'm not going to great details because I live in Houston and the Prince family know me. But all of this shit about, oh, well, this was a sacrifice. No, this was an argument between two camps, and it wasn't even between two camps because Takeoff and Quavo was basically trying to be the mediator between the people who were arguing.
Oh, shit.
And so everybody's saying, oh, well, this is Quavo's fault. Quavo had nothing to do with the shit y'all talking about, bro. Y'all was not there when this happened. It had nothing to do with that. So all these 30-second videos that they're seeing, this and that, everybody's saying, well, he didn't act the way how he acted whenever Takeoff got shot. Did they tell you he passed the fuck out? Did they tell you we had to help him to the fucking car? Did they tell you that? Like, nobody is really talking about the real that's going on. But I'm going to tell you this, and I'll leave it at that. The only people who had firearms that night was the camp who protect Jazz. That's all I'm going to say.
How are you going to say that's all you're going to say when you just told them who did it?
So basically what she's implying is the people who shot the guns were the people who were with Takeoff and Quavo.
Yeah.
Because they were with Jazz Prince because that's his birthday, innit? So if they're the only ones that have guns, and the shots that were fired, obviously it was a stray bullet. So they wasn't intending to hit Takeoff. They were intending to hit whoever else they're arguing with, innit? And it just happened to hit him, innit?
It's mad. But so the quality control label, their Instagram, they've put out a statement. And they said, it is with broken hearts and deep sadness that we mourn the loss of our beloved brother, Kersnik Kari Ball, known to the world as Takeoff. Senseless violence and a stray bullet has taken another life from this world. And we are devastated. Please respect his family and friends as we all continue to process this monumental loss. And then just has his date of birth. He was literally only 28. And then tributes from other people. And it's funny because he was, well, not funny, but you get what I mean. He was on Drink Champs, was that last week?
Yeah, I watched it yesterday still.
Yeah, talking about how like he wants to be given his flowers while he's alive, and like how he's got more of a personality. Like, because obviously we've always seen Takeoff as like the cool, that quiet guy. And he's talking about, you know, with Unconfuming them, like he's just more out there now. He wants to be given his flowers while he's alive. And
yeah, he's just been he's been the understated one the whole time, playing the background. Quavo's like the leader, the star boy. Even when Takeoff, Offset. When Offset come out, yeah, he started doing his thing, started doing the solo thing, started getting a lot of hype. Then obviously he's dating Cardi and that. So these man, out of the three of them, he is the most understated. You get me, chilled, humble one. Yeah. But he probably is the best one though.
Yeah, he is the best one. He is the best one. Because apparently people are saying how, like, if you listen to that old music, they used to rap how everyone else was rapping. But he's the one, but he's always been consistent. The way they rap now is because of him. Yeah. He was one who told the guys that no,
he's cold. I don't know if you came on I was telling you about the YNR, the Young Rich Nigga tape before my man's on it. Yeah. You should go back and listen to it. He slaps that up. Like he messes it up. Yeah, he's cold, man.
No, he's cold. He's cold. Yeah. He's my favorite. In terms of like rapping ability, he's the best out of the three for sure.
So it's so sad. But I just want to read out other tributes to him, give him flowers. Not me about to call him Champagne Pappy. What's his name? Drake, that's it. He said, I got the best memories of all of us seeing the world together and bringing light to every city we touch. That's what I'll focus on for now. Rest easy, Spaceman Take. Rich Forever as well, who he's very, very close with from like when they were young. He says, R.I.P. Takeoff, another incredibly talented young brother. Taken from the world too soon. My heart goes out to Quavo, Offset, and sorry, I said Rich. That's Rick Ross. Sorry.
I was thinking you were talking about Rick Ross, but I was
Rick
assuming
Ross,
you're reading out his Instagram name.
Yeah. So Rick Ross said, R.I.P. Takeoff, another incredibly talented young brother taken from the world too soon. My heart goes out to Quavo, Offset, and the whole QC family. When will this stop? I pray one day we will start to come together instead of continuing to tear ourselves apart. And then also Rich the Kid, who is very close with Takeoff from like when we were young and stuff. He said, today I lost more than a brother, my twin, my best friend, everything. I don't want to believe it. I can't. The most humble person I know. We used to share shoes and clothes before we made it with no problem. I miss you already. You didn't deserve that. I can't stop crying. I love you so much, bro. Forever. And then also T.I., yeah, he said, my heart hurts so much for the family and the entire team behind this tragic loss of a true legend. I'm usually the one with the perfect way to articulate thoughts, but this has me baffled. I'm going to come back to that. Lil Bro was a real solid, respectful, honest, quiet, polite kid who conducted himself like a man of respect and stayed out the way. I just pray for peace in the minds and hearts of his family and all who are most affected. The city mourns with you and my family gonna keep you lifted up in prayer. Our deepest condolences. God bless his soul. May the Lord be pleased with him and accept him into paradise. Shit is just sad. Long live the legend. Takeoff. It's funny that T.I. thinks that.
Well, he's the most articulate person.
Yeah, we go to him for articulation.
Yeah. No, the whole thing's sad, man. I watched the Drink Champ yesterday, and just hearing him speak about, what he wants to do in a year's time from now, and talking, even Noriega was talking to them about, gun violence and how a lot of rappers are dying in LA and and obviously watching it, knowing that he's passed away a few days later is just heartbreaking, isn't it? And just talking about how he wants his flowers, like you said, and how, and even like his personality. Yeah. For the first time ever, I saw his personality because normally in interviews he just doesn't really say much. He's chilled, but he was actually very expressive, very coherent, talking a lot, making jokes and showing the range. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's sad, man. It's sad. It's really sad.
This should give me goosebumps.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very sad. Yeah.
And then the video, it wasn't until like 11 o'clock last night that I saw the video of the scene. And Quavo and screaming and shouting and lifting his body up. It was, mate.
Honestly, yesterday was such a heavy day, man.
Yeah, it was
way too sad. It was just too sad. I feel hurt for all of them, but I guess a good thing with the girl talking as well is because I did wonder, like, Quavo must feel so, like, he would feel so bad. But her saying that he wasn't exactly the cause of it kind of thing, that always helps. I think that is some kind of...
There's another clip that TMZ released. You can hear audio.
Oh, yeah.
Just before the shooting.
Yeah.
The audio, the clip shows the little bit of the argument. Then when everyone disperses, then the shots. And you can hear Quavo going back and forth about something with someone.
Yeah, something about basketball, and I don't get down like that. Something like that anyway. Yeah.
And then it's unclear to why it went from just a bit of verbal discourse to guns.
Yeah. But I guess people not knowing how to control their emotions. I always talk about this. People not knowing how to control their emotions is such a deep thing because some people don't know how to just handle a disagreement. Yeah. Your view is different to my view. Some people can't take that. It's mad. Wow. R.I.P. him, man.
Tragic.
Also, so Desiigner as well. I think he was close to Takeoff as well. So he was on live yesterday. And I know that people always like, if something like that happens. Because ironically, again, yesterday, I was talking about how, when something like that happens and people want to take their phone out and record, blah, 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 whatever. But, so with Desiigner, he was basically on Insta Live and he was literally having a breakdown. Yeah. And looking at you, be like, why are you on the live? But I think I read, let me get the tweet up. So there was a tweet here that I actually retweeted. Because you know what it is with about grief here? Everyone
grieves differently.
Grieves so differently, very, very differently. And so he was on live and he was just like he can't believe it, like my brother, like this is hurtful, my heart is broken. And then he said how basically he's quitting rap. He was like this can't keep happening. And we rap about what we rap about, and this keeps happening. Like it's just not it. And he kind of like showed his plaques and stuff, and he was like, this guy that you know of me is done. Like he's basically done. So he's decided that he's gonna he's going to quit music. But the tweet I was saying, it says you're not obligated, because you know as well sometimes when things happen, I saw a majority when was the whole BLM movement and SARS and stuff, and people don't speak. I'm like, oh, you're not saying anything about it. You're not. Okay. But yeah, so the tweet says you are not obligated to perform your grief, frustration or anger for the internet. Give yourself the chance to feel deeply without trying to craft the perfect statement. Share thoughts if you want to, but don't feel pressure to share private thoughts on public platforms. And it's so true because people will be like, oh, why aren't you speaking up? You will talk about this on a normal day. Well, why aren't you, this has happened and you're not saying anything. Everyone, let's focus on our focus.
Also, why do you care? Like, focus on your own life, man.
I always say, like, why do you care? But on to other news as well. I'm trying to, pick it up as I go. So Simone Ledward Boseman, so that's Chadwick Boseman's wife, she's basically sitting down for her first interview in 2 years since his passing. And she's going to be sitting down with Whoopi Goldberg. And she's talking about essentially what her life has been after that and navigating all of that stuff. And in the snippet that's come out, the interview's actually out on Friday. So I will watch it and I will give you guys a proper debrief. But yeah, in the interview in the snippet that comes out, she talks about how the last 2 years has been the most difficult time of her life. She's like, it's just been a lot for her emotionally. And she also talked about, his greatness. And she said how, obviously, because basically, anyone who doesn't know, he basically was battling colon cancer for I think about 4 years or something like that. And they basically kept it very, very private. They didn't tell anybody about it. And there was time where he was basically went missing after the whole after what's it called? What's that thing called? Black Panther thing. And basically, there was then a time when people saw him. I think he was like an award show or something, and he looked like he lost a lot of weight, and people were talking about his weight and making fun of it, to be honest. And I remember people used to make fun of how he would. Obviously, when he first did what's it called? Black Panther, he was very excited to do the Wakanda Forever. After a while, he looked like he was doing it under duress. You get me? And those were funny. It was just like, oh, here we go again, kind of thing. But I think that his death really let people know that you just don't know what people are dealing with. Unfortunately, some of you have not kept up with that lesson. No. Because I remember like a week after that, who passed away a week after him?
I can't remember who it was.
Was it Kobe?
No, I'm not sure it was
Something happened to someone after that, and people went back to doing the same shit that we just learned we shouldn't do because of Chadwick's life. So anyway, so she talks about that, and she talks about having to receive an award for him recently. She just talked about like how it was just difficult, but she said how she's glad that his talent and everything everyone got to see that, and how he was a very positive person. And she said how with COVID happening, they saw that even as a blessing because that was the height of his illness, but the world was shut down, and they got to just spend that time with each other and just enjoy each other's union in that time. So yeah, it was really moving. I'm gonna watch the full thing when it comes out, but just that snippet alone was like goosebumps. It was sad. But my next bit of news is about Rotimi, the singer, and he's expecting his second child. I just thought, that's a bit of positivity to bring into the mix. So he and his fiancée Vanessa Mdee are expecting their second child, and it's going to be a girl. And they basically told People, as in People magazine, they said, "We're excited to announce that our baby girl is on the way. What a beautiful testament to God's favor. We are overjoyed, and they look absolutely beautiful, and it just looks so nice." So
congrats to them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, congrats to them. And he said, they're feeling blessed and thanking God, and they're excited, and yeah, that's an amazing journey that they're now on. And then my last bit of news as well is also positive. It's about Lamar. So remember in 2016, so Lamar's obviously had so many health issues the way he's been hospitalized.
Come on, Lamar Odom.
Yeah, Lamar Odom.
Lamar, the R&B singer.
That's what I was thinking at first,
No, okay,
no,
I'm not rude.
Yeah, because you said when you say Lamar, just Lamar without the Odom.
Yeah.
I didn't think of Lamar Odom. That's like if I say Tayo, you think I'm talking about Tayo Cruz. Like,
yeah, I
didn't think that. Yeah, Lamar Odom, okay, the basketball player. So yeah, he was on a podcast, a TMZ podcast, and he was talking about how, so obviously he's battled with like drugs and he's been in and out of hospital and nearly lost his life actually. So he talked about how in 2016 he had to sell his championship rings to pay for his medical bills basically. And that for me speaks to how people think that because you're a celebrity, you're rich, whatever, your bank account reflects the same thing. It really doesn't. So yeah, he said how basically he had to sell it, he had to pawn his rings to be able to pay for his medical bills and kind of get his life sorted out, whatever, blah, blah. This was in 2016. But then he said recently so he put it up in auction and it was sold. And he said when he went to a basketball game, there was a fan right next to him, and he was like, "Oh, Lamar, blah blah." He was like, "I'm the one who bought your rings," and he
nice.
gifted it back to him
What,
for free.
For free.
Yeah. So the
Real
guy
nigga right
actually
there.
bought the rings for 36. One of them he bought for $36,600, and the second one for 78 grand, and that's basically over 100K.
Yeah, he's get back to him.
And he gave it back to him and said, you worked for it. You deserve to have it back. And I just thought that was just so.
That's a great gesture.
That is so beautiful. That is such a beautiful thing to do. So
that's a
yeah,
great
he's got his rings back.
Oh, that's good.
It's so, it made me want to like cry. It was just so nice. Like
It's nice.
people can be so kind.
We'll be selling them again soon.
We hope not. Okay, we hope not. Mark.
You are a Debbie Downer. Don't say anything else to Donna here, please. How can you bring it down like that? But no, yeah. So
Hey, fool me once, shame on me.
you're so annoying.
You're dumb.
But no, man. Yeah, it was very, very, very positive bit of news. Also, I do want to clear something up. So yesterday, when I was reporting about Davido and the members of staff that were called into police station, I said they've been arrested. So they haven't been arrested. They were just called in for questioning.
Yeah.
However, he who is found guilty will be arrested, basically, because as the story that's been a source that's close to the family has basically said that what it appears happened was that the nanny was actually looking after the child, but then the chef then came to meet them and they were like talking, but then the nanny had a phone call, so she stepped away to get the phone call, but then when she came back, the child wasn't there, but she just assumed the child was with the chef, so she's like, "Oh, where's the baby?" And the chef was like, "Oh, I thought the baby was with you." And then they were then looking for the child around the house, and then security guard sadly found the baby.
There's a little rumor going around that he was in the pool for 2 hours or something.
Nah,
like
it was more than 20 minutes.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's 2
what
hours.
the
I
police-
thought
yeah.
that can't be right.
No, 2 hours. They must be having a nap, boy. Yeah, it was more. Yeah, it was more like 20 minutes. And yeah, because we're in. They weren't looking outside. They were looking inside the house and whatever. So that is also a sad bit of news. But it's kind of been warming that people have been sending a lot of love to them as well. Like people, because David is very, from what we see of him and what I've heard of him, he's a very nice person. He's very big on community. He's very big on showing up for people and being there for people. So it's nice to see that they're getting that love back. One weird thing that I do think people do that when someone passes away is they tag the person. Or if a tragedy has happened to the person, they tag them in their post. I think that's weird. Because do you really think I'm on Instagram? And even if I was, do you really think that like this is what I want to be? Do you get me? It's weird to me. But each their own.
Do you think maybe they're doing it so other people know who it's about?
We know who it's about. We know. Because you could just put the person's name without you atting the person. I just always find it when people at the person, it's just weird to me. But yeah, man, that is all from me today. Let's get into People's Journal.
The People's Journal. The first thing I want to talk about today is Morrison's. Have you guys heard of the shop McCall's? McCall's.
Yeah, I have. It's like a co-op.
Yeah.
That's why I was very excited. I know I don't have shares in the company. Yeah, it's like a co-op. It's like on a random sides of the roads and stuff.
Okay, well, it's a good thing you don't have shares in the company.
I
That's
do.
the first thing. And secondly, I've never heard of them before, man. But yeah, Morrison's anyway took them over when they went to administration in May.
Oh, okay.
But Morrison's saying that it's got plans to close 132 of those stores.
I didn't even know there's 132 of them.
Yeah, exactly. They ain't making no money.
You are negative in this room today.
And that's going to put 1,300 people's jobs at risk.
That's sad.
Yeah, man. But Morrison's have come out and said, obviously, you don't know if it's true, but they have come out and said, we're going to find places for these people in Morrison's.
I mean, Christmas. Oh, you kiss your teeth for every. Marcus, are you okay?
They're just lying. They ain't finding no places for these people.
I mean, Christmas is coming up because they love to do a Christmas temp rolls and stuff. But with the cost of living, I don't think a lot of people are going to be in Morrison's often.
Boy. Well, yeah, man. So yeah, Morrison's basically saying they're planning to convert all those McCall stores into Morrison's daily shops. So yeah, Morrison Daily. That's what the Tesco
like Express
type
yeah.
thing, isn't it? Yeah.
I've never
expensive,
seen
though.
that. I've never
Well,
seen
do
one
those
of
exist right now?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
Sometimes
I've
in
never
petrol
seen one
stations
as
as
well.
well.
I've never seen one of them before.
Never.
Y'all are not well travelled.
Never.
Yeah, it's you know how you have like petrol stations? Yeah, some of them are Morris, like as in the shop is a Morrison's what's it called?
Daily.
I might have
Daily,
seen that in the petrol station, but not in isolation by itself.
Okay.
Yeah, like a Tesco, Express, or
Yeah.
what's Sainsbury's called?
Sainsbury's local.
Local. There you go.
But I don't know if I don't know how much money they're gonna make doing them little pop-up shops because Morrison's expensive.
Is it?
Is it?
Yeah.
No, it's not. Ain't it middle of the road? Like, ain't it? Ain't Morrison's with Asda
you
and that?
think that? Do you shop in Morrison?
No.
I haven't shopped there for a while.
I
but-
do sometimes. That's
You're
why
getting
I'm.
my
That's
nerves
why I'm
today.
like, is it expensive?
Yeah, it's cheaper than Sainsbury's.
Brent, don't get involved with my business.
I said no, I don't shop there. But so like, what's the rankings from most expensive to least expensive?
Waitrose.
Okay. Oh, what about M&S? Is M&S above?
Oh, M&S, sorry.
M&S,
M&S,
Waitrose.
Waitrose, Tesco's.
Sainsbury's.
Oh
No,
no,
Sainsbury's. I would actually say Morrison's, you know.
Above
I
Sainsbury's.
think
it?
Morrison's and Tesco are neck, and you know how
Maybe
Tesco's
actually.
moving.
I don't know.
Serious.
Morrison's is expensive.
I
It's
think
not cheap.
I think Asda's has gone up in price though, man.
Asda's
recently.
definitely gone up in price.
Recently,
Asda.
recently,
Yeah, even Lidl and them, everyone's acting out, showing their asses.
Lidl's got good stuff, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lidl's
but
got
they.
good bits.
They got some good vegan stuff as well, man.
They got cornflakes.
You don't care, bro.
Did you just say cornflakes?
Huh?
I thought you said cornflakes. I was
stuff.
thinking.
No, I said Lidl's got good stuff. Lidl's got some good stuff.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying the whole shop is good based off the
Cornflakes.
one box of cereal.
As in their own brand cornflakes.
I know.
He didn't even say that, but I thought that's what I heard.
I don't know what's going on. I didn't even like cereal
Ours
like
is
that.
expensive, so I think Lidl's probably the bottom.
Man's just been labelled the cornflakes eater, boy. Out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think Lidl's definitely the bottom, and then Aldi.
I might have
is
to
more
go
expensive.
start getting to them shops then. Aldi and
Yeah, well, they're
Lidl's is
expensive now.
lower than Aldi.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah,
No,
Lidl's
Is it?
better
Are you
than
sure? I thought Aldi.
Aldi's expensive.
expensive.
Okay.
I thought
Do you
Aldi.
shop in Aldi?
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought Aldi was.
Do you
Somewhat.
shop in Lidl?
No.
So you got nothing to compare to. So what
No,
are you guys
no,
talking
I
about?
go to Lidl like every now and again. That's why I don't
Yeah,
shop
sorry. Yeah,
Oh.
I do my research.
What about Iceland?
Ooh. But Iceland don't have like they're more like a frozen shop.
It's not massive. It's not a big
Yeah,
big
it's not
store.
like it's not like a. They don't have everything
Yeah.
that you need
Yeah,
for a good shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're out of the race. They don't count.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so Morrison's basically, like I said, taking over what they've taken over. There's currently 1,164 McCall's stores trading.
Okay.
Again, they must be all up north or something, right? But 286 of those are going to operate under the whole Morrison's Daily brand. So Morrison has said that all of the stores set to close are loss-making, and they had no realistic prospect of recovering soon, man. So they said it in the same way I said it, pretty much. That they're crap.
Boy.
So yeah, but hopefully they can find, I guess, other positions for these other people in it, because that's a lot of people losing out on a job, especially at this time of year. Next thing is about BP. And yeah, man, they made a huge amount of profit.
Of course they bloody did. The petrol's bloody expensive. If they made a loss, I would, boy. Hell must be freezing over.
Yeah, they made a
So
lot of
high,
money.
it's petrol, innit? It's just so high, they just won't come down for love nor money.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
When's it gonna come down, man? What's going on?
Boy, I don't know. It's gone back up, man. So
Yeah, it's gone back up.
Yeah. Diesel, I saw diesel at like what 189 somewhere.
Yeah, so I even saw 191 somewhere.
Look at that.
Hey, Diesel. Yeah, you must throw your car away. At this point, it's just, I think it's just long-term park up, man. Just get rid of it, man. This is crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But yeah, man. But BP made $8.2 billion between July and September.
You know, if you go,
July and
you know, if you can't pay for your petrol, it's not a criminal offence. They
Oh,
can't.
serious?
They can't call the police.
What do you mean you can't pay for petrol? As in you just pump
Drive
it,
off.
pump and drive off?
Pump and go.
I think.
But do you have to?
I'm
you
not
have
sure
to
if you have to
prove that
make.
you can't pay it.
I'm
though.
not
Yeah,
sure.
you have to be able to
I'm not
prove.
sure you have to make them aware of it. But if you go in there and tell them you can't pay for it or you're not paying for it or whatever, like they'll just have to just ban you from the petrol station or something like that. They can't. I don't think they can come and call the police and
Oh, is
make
it?
you. I don't know the ins and outs
I
behind
quite
that,
like
but
this
that's what I heard.
hella petrol stations. I'm about to try that. I'll let you guys know how it goes.
Please don't listen to the advice that Marx is trying to
In
give
what
you.
world
That
do you
wasn't
think I would
advice.
do
I
that?
never told. That wasn't advice.
No, but
I
remember,
never told no one to do
those
that.
are only stations where you pump first and pay later. Though. A lot of stations you have to pay first. You got to put your card in first before you pump.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
You will get arrested. Wow, you be on dinner here. Do you know so funny? Marx would tell them this year. Obviously, he didn't encourage them to do it, but he would say this, and then someone get arrested, and then he'll be on dinner here saying, "No, you're stupid."
Yeah. But like I said, he didn't say his advice.
Yeah, it's not. It's not advice.
Just told you information.
All right.
But yeah, but like I was saying, they made 8.2 billion between the months of July and September, 3 months, you know, which is more than double its
In
profits.
3 months.
July, August, September. Yeah. And that's more than double it made for the same period last year. So yeah, man. Obviously that was because of the higher oil and gas prices and all that type of stuff, right? But because of that, BP are expected to pay 800 million in UK windfall taxes.
They'll be all right. They can afford that. When you got 8.2 billion and you're paying 800 million, that is just coins.
That's on top of the tax they pay. So they pay tax normally.
They'll be all right.
And then, they probably will be, But,
probably, they definitely are.
Yeah, of course they will.
Because they are extorting people out here. That's extortion.
But Rishi Sunak obviously has implemented that. As we knew before, remember Mr. Kwarting and Liz Truss were not for doing the whole windfall tax, innit? That 800 million would have been kept in their pockets pretty much. But obviously Rishi Sunak has said this is going to go towards helping with the cost of living and stuff like that for this year and next year.
Oh, so thank you, BP.
Yeah, we'll see, innit? And the last thing I want to talk about is basically... what happened?
Someone said, I watched the police track down a man who never paid for his petrol on TV.
No, but he must have been serial offender. He must have been a serial offender. Because someone else just said that he filled up his tank and he told him that he couldn't pay for it and they just let him drive off.
Yeah, but you filled it up first though, so you knew you were coming to do this. It wasn't, you know what I mean? it ain't like your car declined. You know what I mean?
They don't know that.
When you say let him drive off, what were they supposed to do?
Of course they know that, because he got to pay.
I would think you have to leave your license or something.
What were they supposed to do?
Well, if it was
behind them kiosks, isn't it?
If it was a criminal offence like that, they would call the police. They wouldn't let you drive off. If they could make you stay and pay, that's what
I'm sure they called the police. I'm certain they gave the police the CCTV footage. Of
yeah, you can't just drive off.
It's impossible.
But why?
Because everyone would do that. Then we'll all be winning.
Because that's called theft.
We're gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to do my Googles, and I'm not gonna do it during the show. But I'm telling you now, I want to say I heard from a good source as well that they can't. It's not like a criminal offence.
Yeah. Unless the source is the one who did
why
it.
though? Because it's petrol.
I'm not sure. That's why I need to stop talking. Let me go and research. Let me just make sure. I don't know. Kevin Thompson, you know.
If you tell me your source is Kevin Thompson,
no, it's not. But I know Kevin knows. I know Kevin knows. Pop up, man. Tell them, man. I know he knows.
All right. So the last thing I want to talk about is
look at that. Someone said he forgot his card yet. He had to go back and pay. They marked his card, but to be fair, you told him you forgot your card there. If you say you have no card.
Yeah. That happened to me as well.
I said they will mark your card. They will mark your card. They will let it be known, and they might, like I'm saying, but I don't think they can call police for you.
Just don't do it at your local, innit? Do it at one off the ends place.
Like,
one time
like
only.
in Bradford, somewhere you go and visit on a random
go fill
trip.
up, empty your Monzo, go to tap it, and be like, oh shit, decline.
Oh no,
I ain't got no money.
All right, so the last thing I want to talk about is Rwanda's president, Paul Kagame, who I've mentioned before on the show. I've got a lot of love and respect for. He's come out to basically say the process towards a single currency for the countries that form the East African Community, EAC, is years behind schedule. So at least they got the plan, right? But he's basically saying, look, it's not going to happen as soon as we would like. He's basically saying that it's currently underfunded, and that's delaying the implementation of certain projects and programs and things of that nature. But he did say, despite the delay, the East African Monetary Institute was necessary for achieving the monetary union. And he's basically saying that needs to be in place. And personally, just the fact that they're trying to kind of have that single currency for the East African community is, again, it just speaks to setting an example for something that could happen, for Africa pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we all know about Gaddafi trying to do the same thing years back. And, not too long after, they killed the man. But hopefully the East Africans can get this sorted and set the blueprint for something that I think Africa needs ASAP. But yeah, man, they've said that the single currency could come to fruition in 2024. So it's not too far away from away from the current day. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, hopefully I'll have some good news about that, man, soon. But yeah, that's the end of the People's Channel.
All right. Well, Wellness Wednesday. Let's go.
All right. Wellness Wednesday. You know what? People in the chat, if you guys know, I knew it. I was just waiting for it.
It's spa music.
Yeah, if you guys in the chat know who said these quotes, you know what I mean? Just say who it is, isn't it? So yes, the first one. Like an unchecked cancer, hate corrodes the personality and eats away its vital unity. But I think it's a bit too loud, you know?
No, you should do. You should sing it.
Please do.
All right, so the first quote is, like an unchecked cancer, hate corrodes the personality and eats away its vital unity. Hate destroys a man's sense of values and his objectivity. It causes him to describe the beautiful as ugly and the ugly as beautiful, and to confuse the true with the false and the false with the truth. I'm gonna say it one more time. Like an unchecked cancer, hate corrodes the personality and eats away its vital unity. Hate destroys a man's sense of values and his objectivity. It causes him to describe the beautiful as ugly and the ugly as beautiful, and to confuse the true with the false and the false with the true. Second quote, I began revolution with 82 men. If I had to do it again, I would do it with 10 or 15 and absolute faith. It does not matter how small you are if you have faith and a plan of action. I'll say it again. I began revolution with 82 men. If I had to do it again, I would do it with 10 or 15 and absolute faith. It does not matter how small you are if you have faith and a plan of action. And the last quote is, live your life not celebrating victories, but overcoming defeats. Live your life not celebrating victories, but overcoming defeats. And that's it for Wellness Wednesday, man.
Alrighty. That is that on that. Let's get into our final headlines for today.
So it's emerged that NHS bosses advertise hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of diversity roles in just 1 month. The 16 vacancies for diversity, equality, inclusion and wellbeing officers were put online by trusts in England and Wales in October. The roles have a combined annual salary of more than £700,000, which could, in effect, pay for 6 GPs, 9 nurses, or 20 paramedics. As a result, campaign groups have hit out at the health service for forking out ads for more diversity demagogues. They said with the NHS backlog spiralling to 7 million, there's no excuse for resources to be wasted. It comes amid the new, never-ending NHS crisis, which has seen ambulance, emergency department, and cancer performances plummet to record lows in recent months. Health chiefs have warned the situation will get even worse due to a £21 billion black hole in their funding, which may see some services cut. The ex-Health Secretary, Sajid Javid, vowed to stamp out waste or wokery in the health service. But Steve Barclay, who now holds the role after being appointed by the Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, is yet to set out his position. An NHS spokesperson said that the NHS in England employs more than 1.4 million staff across more than 800 hospitals. And while it is up to the individual trusts to decide how best they support their own staff, NHS England is reducing its workforce by up to 40%. The NHS remains one of the most efficient health services in the world, spending a far lower proportion on administration costs than comparable countries to ensure we deliver maximum benefit for patients for every pound of taxpayer funding. So essentially, people are just complaining that the NHS want to employ people for certain roles to deal with the lack of diversity, equality, inclusion, and well-being.
They complain that that's the case.
What other countries got a free health service?
I don't know. I think Sweden. Does France? I'm not too sure. There's a few. Not many.
I think Brent's checking.
But bare them are like socialist type countries.
Oh.
Yeah. I think Sweden does.
Australia, Bahrain, Belgium, Brunei, Canada, Cyprus, Denmark. What else? Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hong Kong, Iceland, Ireland, obviously, Israel, Italy, Japan, Kuwait, Luxembourg, Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Portugal, Singapore, Slovenia, South Korea. Can I stop?
Oh, bad people there.
Yeah, I was going to say, how long
everywhere
Sweden,
besides America.
Switzerland, United Arab Emirates, and United Kingdom.
So bad countries then. Why don't they make out like the NHS is so like
unique, innit?
Yeah, like.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we always compare ourselves to America. That's why.
Because we're main characters.
They need to go and follow some of their blueprints because I don't hear these countries moaning about their NHS. They just getting on with it.
Let us know. One of the ones you're going to is on the list. Let us know what the vibe is like when you get there.
Hopefully I won't need.
Report live.
Hopefully I won't need the health service.
That meant that talk to people. I don't know. You can't need the health. God forbid you need the health service.
All right, so our next headline is Nigerian authorities say that the country is at high risk of importation of the Ebola virus following the outbreak of the disease in Uganda. The way Esther's looking. So the West African country does not share a common border with Uganda, obviously. However, the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, says the high level of risk to the country is due to the large volume of air travel between Nigeria and Uganda and the mixing of passengers, especially at the regional travel hubs of Nairobi, Addis Ababa, and Kigali airports. The health authorities say that they are on alert with a number of measures put in place to prevent and mitigate the impact of a potential Ebola outbreak in Nigeria. These measures include increased surveillance and screening of passengers at airports. Nigeria has also issued a travel advisory telling its citizens and residents that they should avoid all but essential travel to Uganda for now until public health authorities have determined the outbreak to be contained in the East African country. But when travel to Uganda is unavoidable, travellers should avoid contact with obviously sick persons or suspected cases of Ebola. The NCDC says passengers coming from or passing through Uganda are being followed up to 21 days from the day they arrive in Nigeria. I don't know who's following these people, but they're just lying to us. But response teams are also on standby for deployment in case of an outbreak. Uganda has recorded more than 100 cases and 30 deaths since the outbreak began in September. And there have been fears the virus might spread to other countries.
I find it funny when there's some kind of disease going around and then the government says avoid contact. Like, do you really think I'm going to know someone has Ebola and go and lips them? Like,
these people, man.
But do you know, they have to look like they're doing something too. So thank you, Nigerian government. Thank you.
There we go, man.
Bloody ridiculous. Yeah, man. Let's get into our sports headlines. Let's get into the reaction.
Yeah, sports every day, baby girl.
It
is.
I'm amazed because I'm amazed. And it's different things every time. Like, wow, what a thriving industry.
We're going to introduce you to the Football League soon. Then you'll know.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't know.
Anyway, last night was Champions League. Is that the final round of games?
Yeah, I believe so.
First final round of games. There's game tonight as well. So
I was about to say, why are you just not calling it a final if it's a first final? Isn't it final?
No, final round.
It's the final rounds of games. It's broken up over 2 days. So Tuesdays and Wednesday they do Champions League.
Oh, okay.
And then Thursdays Europa League.
Okay.
So yeah.
Let's go. Let's do it.
All right, cool. Let's get into these results. Bayern Leverkusen and Club Brugge drew 0-0. FC Porto beat Atletico Madrid 2-1 at home. Bayern Munich beat Inter Milan 2-0 at home. Barcelona beat Victoria Peasant, whatever it's called, 4-2. Liverpool, with a big victory, they beat Napoli 2-0 at home. I think that's Napoli's first defeat of the season in Europe or in the league. They've been doing well, scoring a lot of goals. Yeah. They're probably the informed team in Europe at the moment. Slamming a lot of goals. They scored like 50 goals in like the first 12 games or something stupid like this.
It's won a lot of goals.
So yeah, that was a big result for Liverpool. Spurs just nicked it at the end, beat Marseille 2-1. I think they came back from 1-0 down as well, innit? Yep. What game was I actually watching? I was watching Liverpool-Napoli, but yeah, I missed all these things. Rangers lost 3-1 at home to Ajax, and rounding it up, Sporting Lisbon lost 2-1 to Eintracht Frankfurt. Any results there that stand out to you guys? Anything you don't care about?
I'm more interested in what's happening tonight. Obviously, Arsenal are playing. And then I want to see who falls back and who falls into the who qualifies and who falls into the Europa from Champions League.
Who playing today?
Something team.
Why are you playing Thursday?
Yeah.
You're playing Thursday because your game's Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, playing Thursday. Sorry, I thought playing tonight. Sorry.
Getting ahead of yourself. You don't think you qualified already?
My bad.
I don't know. I was looking at you thinking, really? You playing Wednesday?
These games. To be fair, I was hoping Spurs won because I didn't want Spurs in the Europa League. This is Champions League we're talking about, innit? Sorry, in my head.
But then they still drop down. The second, if you don't if you don't win your group, if you don't top your group in Europa, the second place playoff is with the person who drops down from Champions League.
Let me check where Spurs are in their group. I saw Spurs top of their group, no? Let me check.
They would have. Who did they lose to? Sporting last week.
Basically, what I'm saying is I don't want good teams to fall down into Europa League, innit? Basically.
Well, it's happened already. Barcelona are down there, surely.
Yeah.
Juventus are down there. Atletico Madrid are down there.
Barca have accepted. Tottenham are top of their group. Top of their group. Hold on, so what? From Champions League, right? Is it the third place team that drops down, right?
I believe it's the third place team, yeah.
So
it can't be the second place.
Obviously. You got Ajax, Leverkusen, Barca, Sporting Lisbon, RB Salzburg, Shakhtar, Sevilla, Juve. Yeah, some good teams still.
Is it?
Yeah, these are all third place teams.
God damn.
Obviously, there's another round of games tonight, so that could change.
Are you not top in your group?
If we win tonight, we are. Let me double check. I think
We are top, yeah.
Yeah, we are top.
Are you definitely? Is it officially your top already, or can you mess it up?
We know we still need 1 point.
Yeah. So what if
we could not qualify.
if PSV win and we win, then who's top? We, us. Let me check.
Probably. What if you lose?
And I think if we lose and the other team wins, then we'll be out.
So if you got a draw, you could finish second or something.
So Arsenal have 12 points. PSV have 10 points. So even if we win and they win, we're still top. But if we lose and they win, then they're top. And
what's the goal difference like? Because if you draw and they win,
goal difference is same, 3.
So
sorry, I was reading the wrong thing. I've reading goals against. We have 4. They have 10.
But if we lose, God forbid, and PSV win, we wouldn't still qualify, would we?
No, we'll qualify because the other 2 teams are on 4 points and
you qualify
3
second.
points.
Then you have to play one of the drop down teams.
From
the
so basically,
to qualify for the next round.
Okay.
So finishing first means you avoid another round of games.
Okay.
Before the last 16, you just go straight to last 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
You should get that done. Speaking of Arsenal, we can continue on this. How do you feel about this? Because Barcelona are looking to take Arteta
Get your
over
dirty
to the
mitts off our manager. All right. The guy's only just started to get good.
It's not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah, no, I'm not scared, but still, you never know. Barca's a big team. He's Spanish. You might be tempted.
Nah, he'll be stupid. I don't think he's stupid.
I don't think he's gonna go yet.
Why would he be stupid to take a Barcelona job?
Because he can see what he's building here at Arsenal. That's legacy. Him going to Barcelona don't make no sense.
There's a lot of
give me
legacy.
a reason as to how.
No, him going
That's
Barcelona.
not even doing this to you.
No, I'll do it. Don't worry. Him going Barcelona right now makes no sense at all.
You honestly believe, yeah? All right, because they're not. I don't want to say they're similar jobs, yeah, but both teams have had a fall from grace, in recent history. Yeah? So there's a journey to be taken for both teams. There's a lot to be said for both teams about the history of both clubs. Obviously, clearly, Barcelona's bigger, just in the history of the world, in the history of Europe. I'm just saying. So and man said what he's got over there is legacy. I'm not saying he should take it or not.
Building legacy.
Yeah, forget he's an ex-Arsenal player as well, isn't it?
What I'm saying is, if like in both worlds, if it's, you think he's got more chance of building a bigger legacy with Arsenal than with Barcelona?
Yeah, of course, because he's an ex-Arsenal
why?
player.
Explain that to me, Brent.
Initially, you guys were telling him that he was bollocks. He shouldn't be at Arsenal, right? He's managed to change people's perception of what?
It wasn't just Arsenal. It was anywhere. It was his first job.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, go on.
The point still stands.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And now he is being lauded all over the gaff. All over the gaff. Even much for him to be headhunted. Who's at Barcelona right now?
Xavi?
Yeah, which is nobody, right?
Yeah.
But then he's not nobody. Xavi's a legend over there.
Yeah, but he's not.
All right, cool. So if that is the case and you are actually making a case for him, right? He's done very well.
I forgot that Xavi was a manager.
I'm not saying that you're making a good case. It's bollocks.
I'm not making a case for him. I don't care if he says or goes. I'm just saying. You're like Arsenal's the bigger job.
You're asking me how it makes sense for him to stay at Arsenal when it is Barcelona's calling.
Yeah.
Who is going to Barcelona right now?
They're still getting some of the best players in the world.
Because the money that they threw in, the past legacy that they've had.
Lewandowski's there. They got Gavi. They got Pedri.
It's just retirement.
Still
good money retirement.
No, he's top goal scorer. He's top goal scorer in the league, I think.
Based on all the variables, right? I don't see Barca being a bigger job for Arteta right now. Arsenal's a big job for Arteta right now. Trust me, it's a big job for him. Big job for him.
Please, I don't understand what you've done. You've just wasted 2 minutes for no reason.
No reason. No,
You wouldn't go on Filthy and make that same claim because it makes no sense.
That Barca's a
It's
bigger
a good
job.
draw. Yeah.
Okay, I'm pissed we filmed this Filthy this week already. Of course I bloody would.
You done it?
No, I haven't, but I would have if this story dropped. Barca is a bigger club than Arsenal. Okay.
Okay. You talking about legacy
Spain?
I mean, history-wise.
Yeah, so obviously, and both of them ain't at their levels that they was, isn't it? Like I said, so there's a journey for both of them. His career would be more distinguished if he brought Barcelona back than Arsenal.
No, it would not, because Arsenal
I take
have
that.
gone.
I take
Would
that.
you? Why?
Yeah, I take that
Why?
because Barcelona is and was Barcelona.
No, but here,
if he manages,
hear his statement though.
yeah,
To bring Barca back,
to bring them
but
back.
who's gone further back, Barca or Arsenal? So, for example, if Arteta wins, wait, hear me out.
Barcelona.
Hear me out. If Arteta wins the league at Arsenal, you know what that means? To win the league with Barca, I don't think that's a massive achievement. If Arsenal Football Club win the league again,
No,
don't
he didn't
lie.
say win the league. He said bring them back.
Yeah, to what?
The heydays,
Exactly.
which they were collapsing everybody.
And what's our heyday? Winning the league, right?
And remember, right now,
yeah, but-
if he brings back Barcelona to the heydays, they're collapsing.
Nah.
Real Madrid, they're collapsing.
Brent,
Man City,
hear me out.
they're collapsing.
Wait, hear me
All
out.
these
Hear me
big
out.
clubs-
I get what you're saying, but you're missing what he's
How
saying.
many
because
years ago was-
him bringing Barcelona back to their heydays is La Liga's Champions League.
That's that crazy
Bringing
immortality
Arsenal
stuff.
back
Brent,
to the
hear me
heydays is
out.
just
Hear me
league,
out.
FA Cup.
How many?
precisely.
How many years ago was Barcelona's heyday?
Well,
As in,
three, four.
Cool, exactly. So when was Arsenal's heyday? How long ago was Arsenal's heyday?
Yeah, but that's just
20.
That's just 20.
So
Barcelona's all across the gaff.
who cares, man? The Prem. What are you talking about?
I was just asking the question you asked me. I was just asking the question you asked me. So I do believe that he would get more plaudits if it is he was able to bring Barcelona back to the
And
heyday.
and no one cares about Copa del Rey and them trophies there, bruv. Listen, if Arteta manages to win the league at Arsenal, come on, we ain't won the league since when? 2000 and what?
You're still focusing on one league.
You're an Arsenal fan. Why do you care about La Liga and shit, bruv?
No, I'm answering the question he asked me. I'm just focusing on the question he asked me.
So, okay, the question is bringing Barcelona back
Yeah.
a bigger plaudit than bringing Arsenal back?
For the worldview, yes, 100%. For me, no, because I don't support Barcelona.
I think one, bringing us back to our heyday doesn't mean just winning the league. I think that means even maybe trying to win the Champions League and being in the Champions League, right? I think even
agree.
for me personally, winning the league with Arsenal, just that one trophy, is a bigger coup to me than him going to Barcelona and winning the league.
You have a bias.
It's not
No,
just a
but
bias.
I
It's just
think
that Arsenal haven't won the league since 2000 and what?
Exactly.
Our heyday it's like, how many years ago was our heyday? Like 20 years ago or something? Barcelona, they ain't been shit for that long. Come on, man. Messi just left 2 seasons ago.
But I hear what you're saying.
They ain't been down bad that long for it to be like.
Two different points.
It's panic amongst the ranks. Let's see.
It's not panic about. Arteta's not going nowhere anyway, so it's all
Yeah,
good.
well, look, I don't think he's going anywhere because they're saying
So you all did all of that over hypothetical.
That's not. It's a rumor, isn't it?
no, because if they got rid of Xavi, I think they got to pay him like 20 million and stuff like that.
Oh,
innit?
serious.
And plus,
They're saying
what is
they got money.
Abbas is saying that they think Xavi
They
don't
only
for the job.
Xavi's 1 point behind.
what they're saying.
Xavi's 1 point behind Real Madrid, but what it will do is probably ramp up the pressure for him to get more results because obviously they've signalled out a replacement, which is until Arteta comes out and shoots it down, which anyway you would probably expect him to do.
What are you laughing?
I don't know, you know.
Yeah,
I laughed.
what you would expect him to
Yeah.
do. And even if he does do it, you got to take that with a pinch of salt because it's just a game, innit? But I'm saying, yeah, just keep eyes on that development, man.
But the silver lining is, Man United fans, all football fans, they were giving Arteta stick before, right? Saying he's not
Yeah.
good for a job. Now,
Even Arsenal fans.
you seem to be like, yeah, Arteta could be good for Barca. That's showing that in your eyes, Arteta he's moved up the ranks for you.
I never said it would be good for Barca. I said Barca are interested in him.
Yeah, but
I don't know whether
yeah,
he's
but
gonna
you
be
ain't
good. I don't know if
yeah,
he's
but
gonna be
you
good. I
ain't
don't know what
once
he's gonna do.
shown any type of resistance. Just be like, oh, Arteta, Barca. Yeah, you know what I mean? He ain't shown you. It's all been pleasantries from you.
Barca are trash at the minute. That's their level. That's in keeping with what they need.
They ain't trash.
I mean,
They ain't trash. Come on, they ain't trash.
No, they will lick up Man United. That's why he doesn't. Well, we don't know.
And hold on. I've been forgetting their Champions League group. It wasn't easy, you know.
Or is it
It was Inter and Bayern. It wasn't like they were in a group with Frankfurt and them, man. They were in a hard. They had the hardest group.
They should have came in.
I think Barcelona have a good team.
They should.
No, Barcelona do have. They should have a good team.
They should have came through that group.
Yeah,
They're not bedding in just yet.
yeah, they have a great team. Have you seen their attacking force? It's crazy.
Well, yes, and then let's move on anyway.
Thank you.
Don't like to rattle in our resident gunners. You know, we didn't do that on purpose.
You love it. Look at the smile on your face. Ridiculous.
Bren, don't let him divide us, man. Come on, man.
You can't divide. These are stronger now than ever.
You have a lot of to support Arsenal. You definitely have a lot of heart. I don't think you can be divided. If you guys have not been divided from supporting the team itself,
No, they've
Nothing can
been
break.
division within the ranks of Arsenal fans before.
really,
Yeah, like Arsenal winning it in, Arsenal winning it out. There was that whole thing.
That was a horrible time, man.
Yeah.
It was even just the other day with Arteta in, Arteta out.
I don't
Just
take Arteta out seriously.
Yeah,
Oh.
same.
Yeah. I don't take it seriously.
Okay, and our final sports headline is about the Nigerian boss. Yo, people.
don't do that. You know, I thought you might do that, and I thought no, he wouldn't. He wouldn't do that, but he did.
Yeah,
he's my
basically,
people.
is it Jose Peseiro?
Yeah.
Peseiro?
Peseiro.
Do you know Peseiro? You
First
know?
of all, did you think? Well, because my cousin. Yeah, that's actually my uncle.
Well, Jose Peseiro, the coach of the Nigerian national football team, has not received a single paycheck from his employers 6 months after being appointed to lead the Super Eagles.
You know, why did you do this to us? Why would you embarrass us on a public platform like this? This should have been an in-house
My man's 62 as well, so he
needs that.
He needs his bread.
pensioner.
Yeah, he took charge of the team in May. He hasn't yet made an official complaint to the Nigerian Football Federation, the NFF, about the non-payment of his salary. So I don't know what that's about.
He doesn't need it bad enough. He doesn't need it bad enough, in.
Yeah, I guess he don't. Yeah, don't need to go into some details. You just give the man his money, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Give the man his money. Let me see if there's any information that you actually need here. Let's see. A prominent NFF official told BBC Sport Africa on Tuesday, "We've heard from Mr. Pesario's representatives that he only received his allowances and bonuses, which is very disturbing. His salary is being paid by the sports ministry, but we've quickly made an alternative arrangement in conjunction with the ministry to sort the salary payments this week." Yeah, well, they're forwarding it. They're sorting it out. But yeah, shock. Nigerians don't want to pay.
Yeah, I hate when
This is a
stories.
hostile
I hate when stories feed into the
Imagine
to the
surprise,
narrative.
surprise.
You know what I mean, like, typical. You know what I
Who
mean?
would have thought
Yeah,
it?
like
Expected.
Who would have been like, wow?
Yeah,
Didn't see that one coming.
do better, man. Do better.
Damn.
But your people, man. I don't know if it's the taxes or what, man, but come on, man.
Yeah, because the president's over here doing medical bills. That's what the money is. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they said they're sorting it out. They said they're getting to the bottom of it. So, yeah, that's the end of our sports headlines, man. We can get into Out Ere.
Let's do it.
Who is today's victims of Out Ere? Today's Out Ere. Well, this fella fell on my desk this morning when I was looking at it, and I want to say I wasn't the least bit surprised.
Is it
when
Nigerians again?
There's trauma over there, isn't it? No,
They have PTSD.
no, it's not Nigerians.
Okay.
It's dirty Babylon. It's the police. The police. These people are worse than we thought. You get me? Police vetting failures have allowed predatory officers to join the force. This is real findings from what they've done here. Where they've gone, like, the vetting process to be police here is actually terrible. Like, and no, honestly, like, and they don't care. Like, these are quotes that's coming out for people. Look, there's a prevalent culture of thousands of officers, you get me, who are predatory towards women. And they just join the ranks and they're there. They've been doing all kinds of stuff. There's officers here that go around staging unwarranted stops on women, yeah, in an abuse of power. And guess what they call it? Booty patrols.
Sorry, one more time. One more time. What do you call it?
Booty patrols. So I think it's where they drive around and they just look for gal with
Spot
back.
a nice booty.
And like, oh no, trouble in there. Gotta get that one. This is what they're doing. There's large scale harassment. This is serious stuff. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Some of these officers, yeah, have been hired, yeah. You want to check some of these previous offences? Robbery, indecent exposure,
Wow.
possession of controlled drugs, drinking and driving. We know how much we hate that around here. Domestic abuse, all these kinds of things. These are police officers. These are police officers.
That's mad.
Yeah, and it's rife. And they're saying there's thousands and thousands and thousands of them in these streets now. They've even done some research here where they're talking to women officers and women involved in the roles. And they're saying in nearly 100% of the cases that they spoke to, they said that there was like just cases of misogyny, sexism, predatory behavior towards women, like the staff members, the public, or some of them even leading to like sexual abuse and all that. Like,
So there's no HR.
No, it's terrible in there. It's and I'm not shocked because these dirty police people, you know what it is, yeah? That's why they're walking around like this, and this is why would you expect anything of these people, yeah? When they're just fucking crasses and nasty pieces of work to their own. But obviously, we're only human in it, and it's men doing the job essentially and all that, yeah? So I would think you would have things in place to make sure that you are vetting these guys properly. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, because obviously, like, we're all going to fall short in certain times and stuff like that, like human error, all of these things. But if these people have got like a history, like racism, misogyny, sexism, all of these things, criminal history, a criminal background, links to criminal enterprises, all of these things, why on earth would you make them police officers?
Yeah. Do you know what's mad about indecent exposure? You're meant to be on a sex register for that.
Yeah, indecent exposure. That's essentially like you just took your dick out and flashed it at someone.
Yeah.
If you are flashing your dick at people, I don't think you should be a police officer.
Of course not.
I'm sorry.
You're sick.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And they tend to do it around school as well, because I went to only girls' school, and my school was like around woods, and randomly there'd be like a random man in the woods, and they just,
So that could potentially be the police officer.
Yeah.
Just dealing with your traffic offenders.
Yeah.
It's a little fender bender and that.
It's mad.
It's ridiculous, man. They got to be better. But I'm glad that they put these lot on blast so they just let people know that these people are crasses and they can't be trusted. You get me? Nasty rasses. And it's always around, it's always the men that want to be abusing their power, and it's always around like oppressing women and all these kind of things. Like, these are dangerous men. You get me? And I think they were all probably like, I know like it's like cliche to say it, like, but it's not a joke. They was all bullied in school and stuff. You get me? They was all bullied in school, like beta males, not even beta, I don't even know what less than that is. You get me? And then now, as in adulthood, they want to stand up behind the badge and use it as a position of a power, and then abuse their power. You know what I'm trying to say? They're going for vulnerable people, minorities, and women. And I just think they're pieces of shit, man. I don't know what's going to be done about this. I don't know if they're going to put anything in place to fix this. I don't know how they rectify it, because all of these predators have infiltrated the system already. But I just wanted to let you lot know who you lot was dealing with. You know what I'm trying to say, like, and who's actually on the streets, who's that's been hired to protect and serve us is racist, misogynist, predatory men. That's who they are. That's who the police are. You see one policeman, you see them all. Judge them all by the same. Actually, I must have to say that.
It's too late. It's already out there. He's standing it. No, but it's true though, because
It's all entertainment, guys.
No, but it's true though. But how do you then have faith in anybody? Like, why would if this stats are saying thousands, why would I then meet one on Lewisham High Street and think you're gonna be the good apple?
Facts.
So
Yeah.
it shouldn't fit.
Kanye West had that same type of thinking. But
Yeah, but we don't talk about that, man.
I mean, but he cleared it up, though, innit?
he wrong.
He cleared it up. I went talking to all.
His was different. There was no findings with him. We've got receipts with ours. Well, you don't believe the receipts of the police?
Oh, no. What? 100%.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. No, I thought you were talking about...
No, he didn't. He didn't have any receipts. Quickly, Max, before he carries on. Go to that show.
Yeah, man. So, Metropolitan Police, Met Police. I don't think it's just the Met. It's police. It's police all over the country. I don't know all the other services, but yeah, you are absolutely done at it, and you're a disgrace. You're a fucking disgrace. Yeah, definitely wanted to give them that one. Pieces of shit. Let's get into this outro.
Would you like to lead on that particular action, Max? Do you know how to find the platform?
Don't do this.
I'll share it.
This goes against me telling them to join the platform. We're not going to drive traffic there. But join our community. It's basically like our own social media platform, basically. And you do that by searching community.thenewblack.com. newblack.com. Margs is on there. So if you want to see Margs, and you can add pictures and stuff like that. So sometimes Margs just drops a picture of him shirtless and stuff like that. So if you want to see that. Again?
It's a selfie.
Exactly. If you want to see all of that great stuff, tune in. The other guys do it too, but I was gonna say you have to pay for the content, but that it's going into OnlyFans. Just getting out of hand. Let me just do the outro as we usually do. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you all the time. Thank you to our live crew as well. We appreciate it. Do like the video before you come out. You guys are doing a lot better with the likes. But before you literally leave this, like the video. Thank you very much. Some of you might want to get to the end of episodes. Some questions are there. I won't call you out, but some questions you have, we provide closure on every episode. So yes, I will say that. Follow us on all our social media platforms as well. The Day After TNB. Like, share the videos, do all that great stuff. If you want to send voice notes and text in, it's 07564841073. A little birdie's talking about we might have a big announcement soon. Mm-hmm. Am I right? There is something in the works, isn't there?
Yes.
I think people in the community should get their first peek, personally.
Mm. What's the big announcement? I'm saying that young M.A. is pregnant, you know? There's a rumor on Twitter.
No.
Are you sure?
No.
I'm saying a rumor on Twitter
I'm not
right
doing
now.
this. We're wrapping up the show. Listen, if you want to inquire about the show or feature in the show, email our team, thedayafter@thenewblack.com. Again, join the community.thenewblack.com. You'll get prompted to download an app. Do so. And guys, we will see you here tomorrow.
No, I saw it on Twitter.
What, from a reputable source?
No, there's people talking about it.
What do you mean she's pregnant?
She's pregnant, man. I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying that's the word on the road. You know what I mean?
You know what? I will look into it and I will verify this tomorrow.
But to be fair, I've heard that rumor before though, so maybe there's another.
But I'll be shocked.
Rumor
If she is, I'll be very shocked. Young man's birthday, but I'll be shocked. But anyways.
Congratulations.
No. This is horrible. Please cut the camera. Let's go. We're done.
Cut it.